To you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
I cannot put off my surgery any longer. Tonight I leave the WWE. I love you guys, and I am going to miss all this. I just want you to know. Tonight I leave for the next 4 to 6 months to try to get myself healthy. But before I go, I want to take a second to do something. I want to introduce to you a man who most certainly has earned my respect. You know what? No. More importantly than that, a man whom we all can agree has earned the right to be called champion. WWE Universe, I give to you Daniel Bryan.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, liftoff.
When it rains, it pours. When it pours, it better be a beer. Something like that. 3 minutes after the top of the hour, welcome into the program. Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics. Tuesday night, this 20th day of August. Fast Eddie Layne behind the control panel. Thank you for making us a part of your night so far. First off, I want to say thank you to everybody who is listening in through the Ustream feed. Ustream.tv/channel/beyond-ringside-live. Don't ask me to say that twice, at least not within the same 5-minute period of time. Also, thank you, everybody listening in through beyondringside.com, Ustream Mobile, Shoutcast, Winamp, all of the above, all the different plugins and apps that we've got working right now. We're working on you know what, but I'm not going to say it until everything's ready to go, because I am not going to jinx it. Ain't going to happen. No way, no how. You heard the soundbite from Monday Night Raw. And first off, I want to go back and say, I stand by my comments coming out of SummerSlam. My main issue coming out of SummerSlam was the match order. The first match, the Ring of Fire Inferno match, whatever you want to call it, yeah, it should have gone there. Yes, John Cena, Daniel Bryan should have gone where it did. I know that the World Championship doesn't mean anything in the overall scheme of things in WWE. It's a secondary title, kind of like the United States title is supposed to be, but you've got 4 titles, 4 singles belts. You've got the WWE, you've got the World, you've got the Intercontinental, and you've got the U.S. And I've also made the statement that since the roster split pretty much dissolved and went the way of the yellow-speckled dodo bird, and you're seeing all those champions on just about every broadcast in one capacity or another, it's becoming diluted. And, well, I'm going to agree with a lot of people out there and say that one of the other reasons why the WWE product is becoming diluted or has become diluted is because of the factor of a 3-hour Raw. I know USA and NBC Universal wants it. But by the same token, they're finally getting the roster depth almost in place to where they can safely run a 3. They're bringing up newer talent from the NXT level. They're signing new people. They're making change-arounds. They're keeping some people on Main Event and Saturday Morning Slam. They're keeping 1 or 2 people exclusive to SmackDown, but not that many. And the question is it the right faces? I really believe that, and I get mail for this. I genuinely do, and Facebook messages as well. The factor that the roster split needs to go back in place and Raw needs to cut back to 2 hours. There needs to be a viable platform for everyone to be able to shine. And you really can't do that effectively when you've got a product that is so spread thin. Did we learn nothing from WCW? Thunder? Hello. Saturday night's Main Event while it was still on, or WCW Saturday night while it was still on. Now, coming back to topic for a second, and before I do that, yes, he's hopscotching again. in just a little while, scheduled to be joined by pro wrestling promoter, good friend of the family, Kevin Brannen from LXW, the League of Extraordinary Wrestlers, as well as from IWA Deep South. Kevin's coming on to let us know a little bit more about the LXW show coming up this Saturday in the Sylacauga area, just a few minutes south of Birmingham. And also going to try to get a little bit more info on the upcoming IWA Deep South Carnage Cup. Carnage Cup 9, I do believe, is the right number. That's going to be a little bit later in the year. And always a pleasure to have Kevin on board. Always great to hear what's going on with both LXWI and IWA Deep South. And a little bit later in our broadcast tonight, we are scheduled to be joined by pro wrestling star Lexi Fife. Lexi's coming on. We're going to have a great time to sit down and talk with her and also find out a little bit more, not just about her, but about the upcoming Shine Wrestling Eye pay-per-view. This Friday, August 23rd, it's going to be in Ybor City, Florida. You had a chance to catch Kimber Lee earlier this weekend on the Saturday morning showcase with yours truly, Hitman Ryan Adcock and Robert Cosper. And definitely looking forward to having Lexi on this evening and finding out a little bit more about what's going on with Shine 12 this weekend, Friday to be exact. I ask the question about too much too fast or too little over an extended period of time. There are times when WWE is notorious for pulling the trigger. There are times when they are notorious for capping a storyline and shifting it before it can get entrenched because they get worried that the people aren't getting it. I still sit back and say the same thing now that I've said for years. Do not ever underestimate the intelligence of a crowd at a live event, especially in this day and age, because there is so much information out there. So much information is leaked out there. Speaking of leaks, I'm glad to hear that what happened about the finishes got changed, because the Reddit person or whatever it is, I still don't know the whole scoop on that, so I'm not going to elaborate, and I don't fault anybody if they get insider trading. Go for it, as long as you don't, kill Las Vegas with it to where they're not going to do anything ever again. But the question is, did WWE Creative overplay their hand on Raw this past Monday night? The exchange between Daniel Bryan and Steph seemed way forced, and amazingly enough, from Stephanie's side, not from Daniel Bryan's. Look, Daniel Bryan is incredibly over right now. He can do almost no wrong. Note, I did say almost. And I have a world of respect for him inside and outside the ring. And the one thing that WWE has always tried to figure out was how can we recreate or catch lightning in a bottle all over again as it pertains to doing something like Austin McMahon. Daniel Bryan was called Monday night the ultimate underdog. Well, you just got the clue right there, kids. Steph overplayed that part of the hand. That is the acknowledgement of the factor that, yes, because of the fact that he's not 6 foot whatever and jacked up on whatever, not a glorified gym rat, the fact that he is the underdog in this circumstance. He's the smaller competitor with a great technical knowledge. And I'm willing to bet that his technical knowledge puts him in the upper 5% of workers in the WWE umbrella. But the ending, they say the last thing you see is the first thing you remember. The ending to the show was so overplayed and so forced, it just completely and totally destroyed the opening segment. And once again, I'm not just sitting here as a casual passerby. Sorry. I do have a tendency to overread sometimes. But by the same token, quite often, most people who know me know I get it right. Because for as much as they say they're looking out for what's best for business, remember, you can only put the teaser out there so many times before people get tired of it. That is a law in wrestling and sports entertainment. When you've got a good thing going, don't overdo it. And the overdoing it occurred at the end of the show. Look, there were some great moments all the way through In and Out Raw, and we're going to be covering those a little bit more in depth as the night progresses. But the number one hot topic right now, John Cena, the partial tricep tear, popping the bursa sac, the build-up in the elbow. The WWE is still playing up the fact that Cena's going to be out probably 4 to 6 months. Now, there's a big question mark. If he had said 5 to 6 months, that'd be one thing. I think a lot of people right now are probably going to look at Cena at Superman to make his return around the Royal Rumble again. And that'll pretty much solidify the fact that the WWE title will probably be around his waist again by Mania 30. I mean, I agree with tag team partner The Wicked Nemesis when I say that John Cena, and when he says that John Cena is the best sports entertainer, period. I agree. For what he does in ring, for what he does out of the ring, and I'm going to try to find, if I can look over to my left, I've got 4 monitors in play right now, and I'm trying to keep a track of everything. 13 minutes after the top of the hour, one of the other things that he said, and I want to give credit where credit is due, because Cena actually played the card perfectly.
I want to take a second to publicly thank Daniel Bryan for bringing out the best in me, for reminding me that a WWE superstar should not be judged on race, creed, or appearance. A WWE superstar should simply be judged by their commitment to excellence in this very ring.
I agree to that 110%. If there is one thing that Cena can do, now remember, I will qualify this after my statement. Cena is exceptional on the microphone. 4 times out of 5, he will say the same old thing. 8 times out of 10, I'll say 8 1/3 times out of 10, he gets repetitive about things. Want some, come get some. You can't see me. Hustle, loyalty, respect, all of the above. The truth of the matter is, when John Cena isn't necessarily in hype mode, but in promo mode, he is one of the best. He's not The Rock. He's not Dusty Rhodes. He's not even the gifted rapper, the Doctor of Thugonomics that he was years ago. But let's put everything in proper perspective. Every once in a while, you have to make a change. Everybody does. Did Cena overplay anything introducing Daniel Bryan? Hell no. Not in the least. Like I said, everything in the first part of the program was almost okay. Daniel Bryan almost reminded me of Chris Jericho when it came down to the factor of picking on Steph. I think he did a good job of that. You might get some varying opinions from different people based on the way that they see it, but everybody's going to have a different opinion. And speaking of, I'm going to opinion myself into a quick 2-minute break. We'll be back right here on Back to Basics on Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we've got a pep talk that can motivate you.
Sometimes things don't always turn out the way you want them to.
You can improve your future. Now get your game face on and take the first step towards a better life. Hurry up! Don't make me repeat myself.
Whatever level of motivation you need, we've got a pep talk for you. Call 1-877-38-YOUR-GED or visit yourged.org for your pep talk and for free classes in your area. GED is a registered trademark of the American Council on Education. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is Christina Bonnieri, and you're locked in with Beyond Ringside.
7,000 high school students drop out every school day. If you stack their desks one atop the other, it's a pile more than 17,000 feet high. That's 12 Empire State Buildings. But what's truly scary is that another stack is going up tomorrow. We can keep students in school. Visit boostup.org and take the first step. Brought to you by the U.S. Army and the Ad Council.
I want to finish
school
and then go to
college
to be able to
graduate
and have
the future
my parents couldn't have, because I know that
going to college
is the best thing I can do for my
future.
The words of a parent help to build the future of a child. The Hispanic Scholarship Fund has the information to help your kids go to college. Visit yourwordstoday.org or call 1-877-HSF-8711. Sponsored by the Hispanic Scholarship Fund and the Ad Council.
You might know me, I'm 50 Cent.
You may follow my tweets, my Facebook friends. Odds are a few in 6 degrees separate us. We're that close. What's crazy is 1 in 6 don't know where their next meal is coming from. These are your co-workers, your neighbors, your friends. Hunger's too close for us to ignore. So visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank to see how you can make a difference. From one close friend to another, let's do this. I'm 50 Cent, and together we are Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Welcome back into Tuesday night, Back to Basics. Fast Eddie Layne sitting in with you on this Tuesday thing. I want to take a moment to remind everybody, tomorrow night, Wednesday night, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, the To Be Determined show returns. The Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the champ, Tasha Simone, Mad Dog Matt Denton, and I understand they've got a special guest co-host coming in, and I'm not quite sure who they're bringing on for the guest. Be sure to keep your eyes open. Find Wicked Nemesis at Wicked Nemesis over on Twitter, at Words from Prism, PRISM for Matt Denton, and Tasha effin Simone over on Twitter as well. They will have all the updates for what's going on tomorrow right here at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on the To Be Determined show. You know, if you're not careful, something's going to sneak up on you. And the tag team division in WWE looks like it's sneaking up on some people because it's not getting the mention in the IWC that a lot of people think it should. And I'm one of the people that thinks that it should get the props. Note, the Shield, tag team champions. Note, the Wyatt family, the hottest thing going, and they make a good tag team. The Usos, solid team. Brodus and Tensai, hello. 3MB. Enough said. The primetime players. And the big thing about Los Matadores. I know, MaBo's going to shoot me for saying it like that, but I'm sorry, I can't resist, dude. Referring to good friend and tag team partner Mark MaBo Bowman here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network. He picks on me about the fact that if I hear that it's going to be an Italian or a Latin style name, that I'm going to overplay it and overemphasize the enunciation on it and try to go for the syllabication. It's just me. I do that. And now Big Show and Mark Henry are have been making it public about teaming up. There will never be another Brothers of Destruction. And to legitimately put Big Show and Mark Henry together, there would be no reason to have a tag team division because by the laws of logic and physics, I'm sorry, Big Show and Mark Henry would win the titles and nobody would really be able to beat them with the exception of possibly the Wyatts. Maybe on a good day, Brodus and Tensai. Everybody wants to talk, well, they don't push tag teams anymore. Take a look. They did it to you all over again. They snuck it in there when you weren't looking. I was asked if it's time for the Shield to drop the tag team titles. No. I do believe that it's close to time because of the way that things are being put together in the tag team scene. You've got the Usos, which are that close, but once again, they're playing that underdog role, and the Usos have done it right. This push for the Usos up till now has been right. And I genuinely believe that they should be the ones. Now, that having been said, it'll probably be the primetime players. Or, guess what? The Real Americans. A lot of people have overlooked them when they're talking about the tag teams. I genuinely think, now granted, it would be technically classified as a heel matchup. But by the same token, you've still got people that pop for Cesaro. You've got people that pop for the Shield. Could the Real Americans be the next tag team champions? I say yes. Because if anything else, the Shield is at a place. Hold on. MaBo, what's up, man?
I don't know. What are we doing? Who are you talking to?
I'm talking about the tag team scene right now. Kevin Brannen slated to join us in about 9 minutes. Lexi Fife.
Get the hell out of here. The Kevin Brannen?
The Kevin Brannen, the man behind it.
IWA Deep South and LXW fame?
Yes, the man who is the man behind the scenes and behind it all with the League of Extraordinary Wrestlers and IWA Deep South is going to be here in just a few minutes.
The man whose voice will probably put hundreds, no, I'm sorry, this is our show, fives and tens of listeners asleep.
Come on, dude. Kevin's great people. You and I know that. It's always fun.
I didn't say he wasn't. I'm just saying, what do you think, Eddie? Come on, Eddie. Tell me, Eddie. How about that, Eddie?
You sound like Elvis.
He does a little bit like that. I was thinking, Eddie, we're going to have Lil Donnie and Big Donnie versus Red Solo Cup and John Rare.
Ooh, that's
and
a tag team
on the donkey match.
That's a tag team that would scare the living crap out of me, dude. Now, let me ask this question. I'm going down the list of the tag teams that I know of right now in the WWE.
Hold on. Is there anybody else on the air with us?
No, we're good.
Oh, so you've been talking endlessly by yourself for hours?
No, I've been
minutes.
Minutes.
Oh, that's just sad. Okay, what are we talking about?
Okay. WWE tag team situation right now because they've done it.
I heard one of those dudes was gay.
I don't care.
I think I saw that on like Good Morning USA or something like that.
I thought it was TMZ.
Well, whatever.
Yeah, it's one of those
More power to them.
It's one of those shows that nobody ever watches. Actually, too many people watch TMZ. That's why it's still on the freaking air.
I know, right?
Good Morning America is on ABC. They're going to fund it until they go out of business. Now,
ABC, easy as 1, 2, 3. All simple as do, re, mi. ABC, 1, 2, 3, baby, you and me, girl.
I'll drink to that.
Anyway, what are we talking about?
Let's run down the list. Now,
okay, of who? WWE tag teams?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
The revamping of Primo and Epico coming back as Los Matadores.
No, that is not them. That is two unknown matadors who decided to get into pro wrestling and who may or may not be wearing pink-dyed versions of Aldo Montoya's mask.
The Primetime Players.
I like those guys.
Darren Young, Titus O'Neil. Great workers. Great in the ring. 3MB, because you got to think, Freebird rule. Any two of them can team up together to make a tag team at any point in time.
Yes, but also at any point in time, Drew McIntyre is hurt.
Yeah,
and
true.
For those of you wondering why Alberto Del Rio looked like he got his butt whooped, and wondered why Drew McIntyre's head looked a little lumpy Monday night, it's because Alberto was, from what I've heard, Alberto was popping his mouth off to somebody outside of an Irish bar in Los Angeles. They started beating the crap out of him. Drew ran over there to his protection, and, well, he got beat up too, but they fought the guys off.
Hey,
so don't believe the Michael Cole, oh, it was the black eye and the face stuff was from a kill switch. No, it wasn't. Del Rio got Shawn Michaeled.
There you go.
But yeah, you could, you know, when WWE decides to use them properly, yes, you got 3MB. Go ahead.
Okay. The Shield, tag team champions.
Yes.
Brodus and Tensai. Tons of Funk.
Yes, tons of Funk. Funk is on a roll.
The Usos, probably one of the best, well, I'm going to say, in my humble opinion, one of the best pure tag teams up there.
I know, and so entertaining.
Yeah. The Wyatt family, the runaway favorite right now that can't do any wrong.
Well, I mean, we've really not seen the full extent of what those two gentlemen can do, and what they can do is just vicious.
Exactly. And a tag team, I was going over the dirt sheets today. I looked at about 5 or 6 sites, and different people talking about tag teams, and the one team nobody mentioned was the Real Americans, Swagger and Cesaro.
Yeah. They were on last night. I don't know why people didn't mention them.
There you go. And, of course, now I think Big Show confirmed it on Raw last night that he and Mark Henry are going to team up.
Yeah, and they'll probably end up winning the belts because that's what WWE does. They don't utilize their tag teams. They don't put belts on tag teams anymore. They only put, the throwaways.
Yeah, I know. But see, I've been looking at the fact that the Usos have had a really good series of matches against the Shield and against every other team that they've faced. But based on that right there, it's going to be a team that I wouldn't expect to take the belts out from under the Usos. And I'm thinking the Real Americans would be the one to take them out from under them.
Actually, it's probably more than likely going to be the Wyatt family.
I think it's too soon for the Wyatts to have any gold.
Really?
I think it is. I think it's too early.
Look at the Shield, dude.
Yeah, even they took a little bit of time. They were there. It was.
Well, I mean, bro, it's got to be somebody taking it from the Shield first, and then they're going to give them a decent run, and then if it's the Usos or if it's Big Show and Mark Henry, then it'll be the Wyatts that take them.
Okay, loaded question. Coming off of that topic for a hot second.
Well, take off the sour cream, leave the chives, bacon, and cheddar cheese.
There you go, and extra butter for the baked potato.
No, you don't put extra when you got. Ugh, what is wrong with you?
I can't put barbecue sauce on it.
No wonder you're 50 pounds overweight.
There you go. Did you catch the ending of Raw last night?
No, I haven't finished watching the last hour of it. But I mean, I saw Orton and Triple H and Stephanie and Vince holding hands and singing "Kumbaya."
They did, in my opinion, they did the opening segment okay. Steph, bad overacting. Daniel Bryan.
Well, if you honestly think that Stephanie McMahon, first of all, bad overacting, second of all, wasn't going to side with her husband, then you're a fool.
Well, I never said she wasn't going to side with her husband, although I do have one thing. This is just the one soundbite that really just, in particular, sticks in my head.
Do we have to play it?
Yes.
We can't all be supermodels.
Well, neither can you, Stephanie.
Why in the hell did she put "we" in there? I haven't seen her in any major publications lately. I haven't seen her in the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. I have not seen her in the Bodies issue of ESPN the magazine. God, Misha Tate is hot.
Although, I mean, look, Stephanie has
she's gotten better looking with time.
The suits with the shoulder pads. Oh, sweet Christmas. Sorry, I was looking at porn.
Okay. Big surprise there.
Dude, you got to see this. Oh, my God. It's a live webcam. And the chick kind of looks like Eva Marie.
Oh. Okay. We can work on this.
She's got the bright red hair. Anyway, sorry. Stephanie, believe it or not, she has a good body and everything. She's kind of got a mannish voice. It's like I've always said, Shane got Linda's looks and Stephanie got Vince's looks. So
Stephanie got Linda's jawline. I mean, no. Stephanie got Vince's jawline.
Vince's jawline and nose.
That's a scary thought. It's just when you get to the end of the episode, I'll know it because I'll hear you laughing all the way across the board at how ridiculously bad it was.
Well, I mean, I didn't know you could put that there. Yeah,
you probably can.
You
probably can. Just ask Mr. Belding.
Oh, I got a feeling Mr. Belding had a little chocolate delight going on with Lisa Turtle there, buddy, in the room, wasn't telling nobody. I don't know, have you seen Lark Voorhees lately? Oh, my God, something's horribly wrong with her. Anyway, ooh, tattoo.
Ooh, mosquito.
I'm sorry, so we're looking at naked people. Don't fault me, people. Don't you dare fault me.
You can't fault him one bit on that. Folks,
hey, I'm not officially on the show anymore, dagnabbit. I could definitely look at porn and watch this and be on the show at the same time now.
Dude, you would look at porn when you're on the show full time anyway.
Yes, but now I can officially masturbate. Oh, by the way, we got to go to the break.
Hurry, go ahead.
Right, let's get this over with, and then we'll do the Kevin thing, because I told each and every one of you could kiss my black ass. Chikar is coming back. It might not be Chikar, but go to Wrestling Is on the YouTube channel or their website, and you look for Ashes. Yeah. Y'all can all kiss my ass.
There you go. Tell you what, we're going to the bottom of the hour break. When we come back, we're slated to be joined by the man behind it all with IWA Deep South and LXW Wrestling, Kevin Brannen, right here on Beyond Ringside. Back to basics.
In the wake of a disaster, what one thing can you send that will help people the most? A blanket, a tent, a sandbag, a doctor. Actually, if you send a monetary donation, you send all these things. Even a small donation can make a big impact and can quickly become exactly what people affected by disaster need most.
Want to help those affected by Hurricane Sandy? To donate, visit sandy.adcouncil.org. That's sandy.adcouncil.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
If your walls could talk, what would they say?
I have sent children into fits of rage.
I am responsible for a child's speech impediment.
I am the reason a child can't read.
Just because you can't see lead paint doesn't mean it's not on walls, doors, windows, and sills. Today, lead paint poisoning affects over 1 million children. If your home was built before 1978, log on to leadfreekids.org or call 800-424-LEAD.
Brought to you by the Coalition to End Childhood Lead Poisoning, EPA, HUD, and the Ad Council.
You feel petrified. You're struggling with your mortgage payments, not knowing what to do. You do nothing. But if you do something, you're far more likely to get the most positive outcome. Making Home Affordable is a free government program. Call 888-995-HOPE to talk one-on-one with a housing expert about your options. Call 888-995-HOPE or visit makinghomeaffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
Psst, hey, I'm down here at your feet.
Wait, you're a basketball.
Yes, the basketball. The kids left me here a long time ago. Man, I miss flying through the air and hearing those shouts of joy. Could you give me a little air and remind the kids of how fun I still am?
Okay.
Great, let's get bouncing.
As Native American parents and caregivers, our encouragement to healthy lifestyles for our kids is helping them get outside and play. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov/Indian Country. Brought to you by USDA, HHS, and the Ad Council.
This is Lisa Edelstein from House. On TV, the good doctors aren't always easy to spot, but it is easy to spot the good that Barasa Ware is doing as a local health worker in Ethiopia. Every day he helps the children of his village survive. When you help local health workers like Barasa, you're one step away from helping children survive all over the world. See where the good goes at goodgoes.org and find out all the ways you can help the good go further. Brought to you by Save the Children and the Ad Council.
Arr! We be under attack! Man the long nine! Arr! Prepare to be boarded! Flagship, starboard bow! What? No, not by the enemy flagship, by garbage! Me beautiful ocean be full of it these days. Many of folk don't know that when they throw their trash on the ground, it eventually makes its way into the ocean. So lend us a hand by always recycling and disposing of your trash properly. And learn more what you can do to keep the ocean healthy at keepoceansclean.org. Brought to you by the Keep Oceans Clean Alliance and the Ad Council.
Hello?
Hi, I found your name on the internet. I'm going through a foreclosure. Can you help?
Sure, it's simple. We'll just leverage your transitory expenditures into a fiduciary trust, and we massage those assets before your money goes into my private account.
I don't get it.
If you're facing foreclosure, who should you trust? The Hope Hotline is a free resource connecting you with HUD-approved housing counseling agencies, available 24 hours a day, who can give you the information and clarity you need. Call the Hope Hotline at 888-995-HOPE. That's 888-995-4673. Brought to you by NeighborWorks America and the Ad Council.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi, I'd like to report a bear sighting, as in Smokey Bear.
Continue.
I was burning yard waste. He told me to remember that if it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave.
You know, 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans. That means 9 out of 10 wildfires can be prevented.
I know that now.
As usual, the talking bear gets all the credit. Always burn responsibly and contact your local fire department for open burning regulations. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council. Learn more at smokeybear.com.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
This is a guided meditation on parenting. Take a deep breath in and let go of the time you and your son played basketball and you attempted to slam dunk. Or when you hit that piñata into your neighbor's yard. Let it go.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who don't need perfection. They need you. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Move Time Radio, presented by the Arthritis Foundation. Yeah, get down and dance. You hear that? That's the sound of arthritis pain being moved, grooved, hustled, shuffled, juke, jive, jumped, funked, shimmied, shook, and boogied. See, movement is just one of the ways to help fight osteoarthritis pain. Another is weight loss. You get rid of just 1 pound, that's 4 pounds of pressure off each knee. For more information on managing pain, wind and grind on over to fightarthritispain.org. This message brought to you by the Arthritis Foundation and the Ad Council.
Remember when your neighbor found us naked in the car?
On a Tuesday night, welcome back in Beyond Ringside, back to basics. Fast Eddie Layne being rejoined by Mark MaBo Bowman. What's up, MaBo?
You know, we were having a conversation. You didn't have to come butting in.
It's called going back on air.
Well, you didn't say that. You were like, oh, we're going to go do the thing. And our guest and I were having a conversation until you rudely interrupted us.
I'm sorry.
So hang up the phone. Well, not hang up the phone, but hang up the thing. Go back and do what you were doing, and let me and our guest coming up right now finish our conversation.
You want to go back into another commercial break?
Yes, we were having a conversation.
Okay, tell you what, we're going to finish the conversation. We'll be back in another, how long?
30 minutes?
No, let's do it now.
Oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, longtime friend of the family here at the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, the man behind it all, with not just IWA Deep South, but with LXW, the League of Extraordinary Wrestlers, Kevin Brannen. Kevin, welcome back in. Good to have you tonight.
Yeah, thanks for having me back, Eddie.
It is always a pleasure, brother. Now, you've got a lot of things on your plate right now. You've got LXW coming up this Saturday night, August 24th. It's going to be in Sylacauga, Alabama, but it's not going to be in its traditional location.
Yeah, it's going to be at the National Guard Armory in Sylacauga this Saturday.
And what's the address on that?
What'd you say?
What's the address on that?
Let's see. It's 1001 West Fort Williams Avenue.
Okay.
Now, real quick, Kevin, how far away is that from the venue where you guys normally run?
It's about 2 miles difference. Like if you're coming down 280,
yeah,
it's actually easier to find the place. Like if you're coming down 280, you make one left turn, and it'll be like right on the main road, which is Fort Williams. So yeah, it's easier to find for people, that are coming from out of town or whatever.
Okay, cool. I'm sure, some people, because as Eddie couldn't to attest, it might be easy to find during the daytime, but trying to leave the venue and trying to find your way back to the interstate at night is not that easy.
Dude, I've got to say this. I have been to the J. Craig 3 different occasions, and leaving my GPS has taken me 3 different ways, 3 different times. I've just been, it's like, how many different ways can I get out of this place? And that's normally at 11:30 midnight when I'm using my navigator program. But now, before we go into the lineup, bell time slated to be around 7:30 p.m. Doors should open around 7. How much are the tickets going to be for the show?
Tickets at the door will be $10. Advance, they'll be $8. You can get advance tickets at Snowbiz in Sylacauga. That's on Highway 21. There should be a phone number. Yeah, there's a link and a phone number to Snowbiz on there.
Okay.
On the side.
It is, I'll go ahead and throw that out there. It is area code 256-589-5379 or 256-223-2021. Now, Kevin, how much longer do the people have if they want to get the advance tickets? How much longer do they have, seeing as how the event is this Saturday?
We're going to cut off the advance prices on Friday, so you can still get them, by 7 p.m. on Friday. The only exception to that is if it's somebody I've already spoken with and they just absolutely can't get them by the time Snowbiz closed Friday, and I have arrangements made with them to meet them early Saturday, and that's the only exception to the rule.
You have got some matches coming up on this show that I am really looking forward to seeing. And one of the matches that just jumps right out and goes, this is going to be fun. The Demon Master back in action with LXW, going to be taking on Phil Macchio this Saturday night. Give us a little bit of the background on that one.
These 2 guys are totally new. This will be the first time that they've ever met, to the best of my knowledge. Demon Master, he doesn't need any introduction. I mean, when I first started LXW, he was one of the first guys that come to mind, extraordinary. I mean, because his gimmick is just, nobody else has got a gimmick like him. The closest guys like that are along that line were the Devil's Reject, in Tennessee, which they work for NWA Anarchy. But Demon Master's right here in Alabama, so he's, a little bit easier to get. But, I love Demon Master. Phil Macchio does a Karate Kid gimmick. So, it's going to be interesting. like I said, they've never met before in the ring, the best I know. So, I mean, you got the brawling style, you got the old school brawling style of Demon Master, and then you've got the karate and the jiu-jitsu that Phil Macchio brings. You know, when he gets steps in the ring, he's got that martial arts background. So it's going to be very interesting. I'm looking forward to it.
Also coming up this Saturday night, LXW Wrestling, the Ubermenschen Strikes Back. I meant to get that in there when we were first making the reference. Pork Chop Cash Jr. taking on Hardcore Terry Houston. Kevin?
These two guys, they're part of the Burke County boys from Burke County, North Carolina. And they wrestle for $5 Wrestling, and out of Charlotte, Jake Manning's promotion that is pretty much infamous now. I mean, they're doing regular internet pay-per-views, and they've got an entire catalog of DVDs on High Spots. I mean, $5 isn't for everybody. I mean, you either like it or you don't. I personally like it. I mean, it's good comedy wrestling, and LXW, when I started, I wanted it to be a mix of, you know, the $5 comedy with the Chikara type comedy, but with a southern flavor. So, you know, you're going to get to see that Saturday. You're going to get to see the $5 comedy, the southern flavor, you know, and then two, you got, you've got Bad Blood spilling over from the last show with Ubermenschen and Sickness that we'll talk about in a minute. But the Pork Chop Cash and Terry Houston match should be really good because these two guys, they've wrestled each other countless times on $5, and they're two of the better all-around working guys. I mean, the Burke County boys in general, the whole group, are the top guys up there. Besides Freight Train, Freight Train's the number one guy, but then next to Freight Train, I would say the Burke County boys are the top guys, you know, besides him. So that should be a really good match.
You've got a three-way tag team match slated for this Saturday night in Sylacauga. Michael Frogray and Old Mustard versus the White Trash versus the Country Critters, Coon Dog and Crazy Cat.
Yeah, that's going to be a good match, comedy match. Frog and Mustard, everybody's familiar with them and their YouTube videos that they've been doing, and then of course, you know, they run the Birmingham Hardcore show, and those two guys have a good act that they work together. Funny guys, I mean, real good. White Trash is Junkyard Joe and John Boy, and they wrestled for me in the past. Just a good old school heel team. Country Critters, it'll be the first time that they've tagged up. That's going to be Coon Dog and Crazy Cat. My first animal tag team, you know, that I've put together. And that's what I'm trying to do, mix it up, you know, bring in a lot of different talents, you know, not just, you know, people, but, you know, Homo sapiens, but also the animals. So we got everything, man. You know, we got a little bit for everybody.
Now,
you know, something for everybody.
Well, now, Kevin, I'd heard rumor that they had actually put down Crazy Cat because of rabies. Any truth to that rumor, or was it just he was hiding under somebody's porch for the last few years?
Yeah, I know he's been doing that, but I haven't got down to the bottom of it. I don't know for certain about the rabies. Right now, it's still just a rumor. Maybe I'll find something out Saturday night, but I have heard that, but I haven't got down to the truth about it, so I'm not sure right now, but maybe I'll find out Saturday.
Now, I use the phrase every once in a while, rock these walls, and one of the matches you've got coming up this Saturday night in Sylacauga for LXW, the Ubermenschen Strikes Back, it's $5 Wrestling's #1 ranked contender, Big Donnie, taking on, I want to say the term a local favorite, but a definite favorite in Cornbread. Kev?
Man, just good old two big guys, dude. I mean, Big Donnie tips it in about 450. Cornbread tips in about 375. I mean, just two big old boys. You know, Big Donnie, #1 ranked contender. Second only to Freight Train, and he's got the big title match coming up on Sunday, September the 8th on iPay-per-view, $5 pay-per-view. Big Donnie's challenging Freight Train for the world title. So, I mean, Cornbread is going, he's going to have a tough night, man. I mean, he's a big guy, but he's a young guy, and he's still trying to, make his name for himself. Get that experience. He's not got a lot of experience, so I mean, he's gonna have a tough night. But I mean, in size, he's really close to Donnie in size. So I mean, just gonna be, the irresistible meeting the movable object. I mean, I just hope the ring can hold both of them.
The LXW Extraordinary World Title will be on the line this Saturday night at LXW. The Ubermention strikes back. The Super Red Solo Cup will be defending against $5 Wrestling's Little Donnie this Saturday night. Kev?
All right, I need to make a correction. It's Red Solo Cup and Little Donnie. I just been informed. I talked to Red Solo Cup earlier today, and he's experiencing some changes. He told me, he said he's not being able to punch through the walls like he was. And we've sit down, we figured it out. The formula that Cal Bascular and Wicked Zombie stole from Dr. Von Lucher at the show, we figured out. He made this formula, but it was a temporary formula. And so what has happened is his superpowers have rubbed off, they're gone. And so he's just Red Solo Cup now. So until we're able to obtain another tube of that formula, hopefully, we can get one of those permanent formulas that the evil doctors made. But right now, he doesn't have his superpowers, man. So I don't know. I don't know if he'll be able to hold on to the belt or not. I guess we'll just have to wait and see Saturday. But I understand, though, that Red Solo Cup is also going to be introducing his new ring attire. I've seen his ring attire. He's got some really good professional gear. And in my opinion, after Saturday night, it'll be a travesty if Red Solo Cup doesn't get booked on $5 Wrestling.
And in the main event this Saturday night, it is a 4-on-4 street fight. No disqualification, no count out, falls count anywhere, and it's 2 out of 3 falls.
That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is. The Ubermention, John Rare, the Angel of Death, Death Row, Sicko the Clown, and a mystery partner will be taking on The Sickness, Spider Boudreaux, Bryant Woods, Super Brown, and Big Pimpin' this Saturday night.
This one's gonna get out of hand. I just hope the building can contain these 8 guys. Now the 4th partner on the Ubermention is a mystery. I don't know who it is. I tried to talk to John Rare and Dr. Heinrich von Lucher, but they're not letting me know. I do know this much. If any of y'all have bought the first 2 DVDs, The Renaissance Begins and Dazed in Toyland, if you bought the DVDs, then you pretty much know, the backstory about what's going on. Well, basically, at the first show, the Dr. Heinrich von Lucher, he started these experiments to create the ultimate Ubermensch, basically the ultimate Superman or super monster. Well, the first 2 experiments didn't turn out that well. We had Jason Jr. and Acid, and they're back in the scrap pile now. We don't know what's happened with them, but they didn't work out that well. Now, I understand the Doctor and John have got together, and the only thing they'll tell me is that they are working on the ultimate Übermensch, which in German is Superman. And so the only thing that's all they're telling me. They're telling me we'll reveal their ultimate Übermensch on Saturday night. I don't know who it is. I know it's a monster that the doctor and John have been working on, and they've assured me that he will be ready for Saturday night. I guess, I'm going to have to be just like the fans and everybody else. I'm just going to have to wait and see. We're just going to have to wait and see what the doctor has cooked up. But Sickness, Super Brown, and Big Pimpin', they say they're ready. But, see, I don't know. Because we don't know who the doctor's got. He's bringing. So, I guess we'll just see. The only thing that's kind of evens the playing field is that there's basically no rules. Basically no DQ, no count out, street fight, falls count anywhere, 2 out, 3 falls, and that's right down Sickness's alley. So the only advantage they have is it's basically no rules. But myself, and the rest of the staff, Smooth, and everybody else, we want to know who this fourth guy is. But, we're just going to have to wait till Saturday night. We're not going to be able to find out. The doctor's got the lid. Doctor and John's got the lid tied on it. They're not letting nobody know. We'll just have to wait and see. But it should be a barn burner, though. Slobber knocker. Sorry, y'all.
MaBo, come on in with Kevin Brannen.
Well, now, it looks like you have a packed card. Are there any more of the... Might be seeing any more of the LXW regulars who they're not booked, but could say a Kyle Bakula pop up or Dump and Lil Tater. Is there going to be some surprises? Anything we should be looking forward to?
Well, I hate that I couldn't get Southern Skies and Kyle and Wicked Zombie. There were some scheduling conflicts, and so I know we won't see them on the show, which is why I got on the horn and called Little Donnie and Big Donnie and tried to get the $5 guys because I wanted to compensate for not having those other guys on the show. So there may be a surprise or two, but like I said, the Southern Skies they won't be able to make it, and but it's going to be a good show. I wouldn't miss it. If I was a fan, I'd be down there watching it.
Well, I know I'll definitely be down there, and so will Tunzi, and I'm sure a lot of everybody else. Now, I've heard a vicious rumor, and it may be more than rumor, it may just be fact, that if you go up to Fast Eddie Layne at the announce booth and say the secret word, he will buy you a snow biz. Have you heard anything about that?
Yeah, that's true, man. Eddie's gonna buy me one.
But they got to say the secret word first.
Yeah, got to say the secret word though.
Okay. This snowbiz's going to be there because honestly, I did enjoy my half root beer, half what was it, I don't know, but it made it like a cream soda. Will Snowbiz be there, and will the giant inflatable penguin be there?
Yes, Snowbiz will be there Saturday night.
That's all I need to know. Yeah. Do you know if the Blue Fedora is going to have last show? Do you know if they're going to have the DVDs available?
Yeah. I'll have copies. They handle they do my filming and stuff, but I'll have the copies from the last show and also the Renaissance Begins as well. Do you have it?
Actually, yes, we have both of those covered.
Okay.
How much? What are the prices so people know how much to bring?
Okay, all right. The DVDs are $10.
$10 a piece?
Yeah, $10.
So you heard that. Bring at least, if you don't have both DVDs, go ahead and bring at least $20, and then I'm sure there will be, people selling other wares. So bring enough money for that. Bring you some money for Snowbiz. Bring money to tip Eddie because he obviously does not make enough money anywhere else. Go ahead and bring about a good $200-300. Would you say that'd be about a good price for them to bring, Kevin? About $200-300?
Yeah, about $200-300 would be good.
Now I heard that for $50, you can actually lift up one of the fat rolls of Big Donnie and try to find a prize.
I'm not going to go there, man.
I don't think a lot of people will. I'm just waiting for Eddie to jump in at this point, Kevin. I think, you know what, it's just me and you now. How you been, man? I ain't talked to you since the last show. You doing all right?
Yeah, man. I'm doing good.
When are we going to go out for that beer?
Do what?
When are we going to go out for that beer?
Me too, man. When you ready.
Well, I don't
Ready,
drink,
man?
so I don't drink, Kevin, so I don't appreciate you trying to push alcohol on me. I live a straight-edge life, sir.
Oh, sorry, man.
Sorry. Hey, will we ever see any form of LXW authority figure? A commissioner, a general manager, a president, I don't know, Daily Bugle, freaking J. Jonah Jameson type guy? I mean, will we ever see a full-on authority figure in LXW? I know that there has been word bandied about.
Yeah, possibly in the near future you will, yeah.
Okay, because I know the front office is busy trying to pick a representative who could fully bring about the face of the company. And I'm just saying, I know somebody with experience. They've worked behind the scenes. They're on this show.
I know,
and I'm sure if you just ask them, that they would be more than glad to step up and take the position, the seat of power, if you will, in LXW. Just let me know when you need me in advance on Saturdays, and I'll be more than glad to step in. I have a nice suit and everything.
I nominate MaBo.
Okay, man. Let's talk about that Saturday, man.
Yeah, no. If you got me representing your company, then you've taken a step down, sir.
I disagree with that.
I'm not pretty enough to be representing LXW.
Yes, you
Tunzi,
are.
though, Tunzi would be perfect. So, all right, what have we covered?
Actually, I got a question. Since we've been covering a lot of the LXW stuff for this coming Saturday, I want to ask. Carnage Cup 9 is not that far away. It's going to be in November, which a lot of people say that's still a ways off. Well, granted it is, but it's not as far as you might think. Now, Carnage Cup 9 has moved. It is going to be up in Tullahoma, Tennessee at the SWF Arena. You've got 16 people that are going to be competing in the Carnage Cup this year, but you've only announced 14. You got an exclusive you want to throw our way?
Let's see. Well, yeah, the last two, one guy was there last year, Sid Fabulous, a young guy that broke out last year against Matt Tremont in the first round. He'll be number 15, and there's a guy from Ohio from Rockstar Pro Wrestling, Johnny Ganger, will be the last participant. So it's a lot of young guys this year, a lot of fresh faces, and a lot of familiar people from previous years. So, good mix of vets that's been in most of them, and then a good mix of new guys. There's several guys that might be making their debut this year.
And this, for those who enjoy, now, this is not just going to be a hardcore ultraviolet tournament, because you always manage to put something in there for everyone. And I know you're going to be announcing those matches as the weeks go on, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So, friends, like I say, not only this Saturday night with LXW in Sylacauga at the National Guard Armory, but also start making your plans. November 16 and 17, it's going to be in Tullahoma. For our friends who've been going to the event when it's in Alabama, I tell you what, Tullahoma's not that far away, and it is going to be worth the drive for this 2-day event. Right, Kev?
Yeah, it's worth the drive. I mean, we can thank the good friends at the State Athletic Commission for our good hard-earned money going to be sent to Tennessee this year, and it seems in the foreseeable future we'll be spending our good money in the great state of Tennessee. But that's fine. I've got good friends. Well, not just in Tennessee, but in several states. I've had people give me offers for a number of different states to host the Carnage Cup, and so Carnage Cup won't die. We're gonna keep doing that one. That's my baby. So we'll have it somewhere. Right now, it's gonna be in Tennessee, And as long as, I would say, as long as I can keep coming back to Great State, Tennessee, then we'll probably keep going back to Tennessee.
MaBo, come on back. One more round with Kevin Brannen.
Is Nurse Hottie McHotpants there? You know, Nurse Hootie McBoob. Is she gonna be there?
Yeah, she'll be there.
Oh, sweet Christmas. She makes my pants get even tighter. Wow.
Folks, don't forget, this will be taped for DVD by Blue Fedora. Say it again, Eddie. Blue Fedora Productions. And this, if you have not got a chance, we talked about it a minute ago. The DVDs from the first shows are available. Check them out. I guarantee you, you are going to have fun. Just like you're going to have a great time this Saturday night in Sylacauga at the National Guard Armory. LXW, the League of Extraordinary Wrestlers. The Ubermenschen strikes back. Kev, anything else you want to add before we hit the top of the hour?
That's all I can think of, Eddie. Just if you're listening to this broadcast, try to be at the show on Saturday night. You won't regret it.
Get there early. Doors open at 6. You're going to want great seats for this. And remember, advance tickets are still available at the Snowbiz in Sylacauga. We're going to give you these numbers again real quick. MaBo, you want to take them?
Kind of experiencing computer technical difficulty, Eddie.
Area code 256-589-5379 or 256-223-2021. You can call those numbers and find out the info on advance tickets. They're 10 at the door, 8 advance purchase at Snowbiz. Kevin.
And while you're down there getting your advance tickets for LXW this Saturday night, doors open at 7:30. Go ahead and get you a Snowbiz while you're down there. And then later on Saturday night, while you're there, you can be like, hey, dude, I saw you at Snowbiz. You sold me some shaved ice with some flavor. I'm going to go ahead and get another one because it was so delicious the first time.
Would you do me a favor and say the words Jell-O pudding pops?
I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Out of respect for Bill Cosby, passed away, I'm not going to do that anymore.
I didn't know he passed away. I'm sorry to hear that.
I didn't either.
Okay. Kevin, always great to have you on, and we're looking forward to seeing you this Saturday night in Sylacauga.
Thanks for having me.
Folks, our special guest at this time, the man behind it all with LXW, the League of Extraordinary Wrestlers, and IWA Deep South, Kevin Brannen, has gone Beyond Ringside. Hang with us going through the top of the hour break, and we'll be back on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network right after this.
Today in school, I learned a lot. In chemistry, I learned that no one likes me. In biology, I learned that I'm fat and stupid. In English, I learned that I'm disgusting. And in gym, I learned that I'm pathetic and a joke. The only thing I didn't learn in school today is why no one ever helps.
Kids witness bullying every day. They want to help, but they don't know how. Teach them how to stop bullying and be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
This is a test to find out if you know it all when it comes to children. Name one of the leading killers of U.S. children age 1 to 13. What's the best way to protect children in a car crash? At what age and size should a child start using a booster seat?
Don't assume you know it all when it comes to car seats for your child. Go to safercar.gov/the-right-seat and know for sure. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Oh! You are round MVP.
Yeah, man. Yo, Drew, I finally got round MVP. Round MVP.
No way. That was some ownage.
Finally earning round MVP takes determination. So will getting into college. I've got what it takes. So do you.
Visit knowhowtogo.org to learn what you should be doing right now to prepare for college. Start taking the steps at knowhowtogo.org. Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation, and the Ad Council.
My name is Meera Batra, and this is how I live united. Many families have come to America for a better life. I advocate for these families with United Way. United Way empowers them to see opportunities available. We help them get involved with their kids' schools and network within the community. My name is Meera Batra. I help families see opportunity and succeed. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council. Thanks for asking, but I'd rather not send you nude pictures. I'm camera shy. I already said no. Under my clothes, I'm a robot. My webcam is broken. I'm worried they'll get passed around school. I have a rash. I have nudophobia. I have lizard skin. I'm a vampire, so I don't show up in pictures anyways. Your badgering has really killed the mood.
When someone is pressuring you to do something you don't want to, how many ways can you say no before they get the message? Let us know at that'snotcool.com. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Steven.
Who said that?
Me, down here.
Ugh, what are you, a yellow booger?
I'm a banana slug, Steven.
What are you doing in my room?
I'm your sense of adventure. It's been a long time since we've had an adventure in the forest.
Mom took me to the forest last year.
I'm a slug, Steven. It took me a long time to get here.
You're right. I should get out.
Yeah, the forest is not that far away.
Hey, Mom!
Come to the forest where the more adventurous you lives. Check out discovertheforest.org for cool places nearby. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hey, Dad, how do you throw a curveball? How do you build a fort? How do refrigerators run? How do fish learn how to swim?
Kids ask a lot of questions.
How high can you jump?
But you don't have to know every answer.
How many phone numbers are there?
Because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent.
How do cell phones work?
There are thousands of children in foster care who don't need every question answered.
What's electricity?
They just need you.
What's the moon made of?
For more information on how you can adopt, go to adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
Welcome to Move Time Radio, presented by the Arthritis Foundation, and we're smack dab in the middle of our dance-a-thon to fight arthritis pain. Me, I've been grooving for 10 hours straight, baby, but I'm a boogie machine. See, movement is just one of the ways to help fight osteoarthritis pain. Another is weight loss. You get rid of just 1 pound. That's 4 pounds of pressure off each knee. For more information on managing pain, visit fightarthritispain.org. Then meet me on the dance floor. This message brought to you by the Arthritis Foundation and the Ad Council.
Monsters could be living under your child's bed or in the bathtub. For a child with asthma, it can seem like monsters are everywhere. Because something as innocent as a teddy bear could trigger their next asthma attack. But there are simple ways you can help, like putting stuffed animals in the freezer to kill dust mites and drying bath toys to prevent mold. Learn more at noattacks.org or call 866-NO-ATTACKS, because their next breath is in your hands. Brought to you by the EPA and the Ad Council.
The odds of becoming a signed artist and having 3 #1 albums? 1 in 100 million. The odds of going on to win 6 Grammy Awards? 1 in 1.4 million. The odds of this performer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 88. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Autism Speaks. It's time to listen. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Amanda Pete. Like all new parents, my husband and I want what's best for our baby. When it was time for our daughter's immunizations, we wanted the facts. So we carefully researched vaccines. We spoke with doctors and other experts and asked some tough questions. We decided that vaccines were the best thing for our child. I urge you to get the facts. Learn the facts about vaccines so you can make the best healthcare decisions for your family. Thank you.
A message from the American Academy of Pediatrics and vaccinateyourbaby.org.
Company can still kiss my ass for using this piece of music and taking it out from under me.
The who?
There was a car company that used this piece of music. I'm not going to give them the response, the dignity of actually saying which one it was. Ha ha. Yep.
Okay.
No, I was using it before them. That's all I'm going to say.
If you say so. And I'm sure that the people who came up with the song was using it way before that.
Yes, it was actually a commercial music bed, or a non-commercial music bed. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
Tuesday night, back to basics. Welcome back in. Fast Eddie Layne, a special cameo appearance by Mark MaBo Bowman. Brother, thank you for hanging with me this evening. I greatly appreciate it.
I just wanted to come on there and make fun of Kevin.
You didn't do that.
Well, no, not to his face.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Well, I mean, what can I say, dude?
Sentences in English.
Too many of them.
Por favor, manténgase aliados de los puertes. Please stay clear of the door. Dude, I had the best homemade tamales from a coworker. Like apparently she made like a crap ton, and her and her family are tired of eating them, and so she decided to, she brought them, and then she changed her mind about eating them for lunch, and so she was like, here, and I was like, cool, and they were delicious.
Are you digging the factor the 30 years of WrestleMania mode in 2K14?
Not really, because I'm not really big on the story modes. To be honest with you, just not a big fan.
Okay, are you digging?
I've never finished completing the one on 13. I just sat there and found all the Chikara guys I wanted, and so mad that somebody on the 360 side of the game has not only has current Colony costumes, but has Colony Extreme Force and the Swarm and Jervis Cottonbelly and Eddie, are you sitting down?
Yes.
Estonian Thunderfrog.
Really?
I know. I'm so mad. I have to deal with who I have, which is okay, but still. Ugh.
You know that we still haven't had Thunderfrog on this damn show?
I can't help it. Do you know how much the charges are to call Estonia?
No.
And then we have to pay for a translator? Do you speak Estonianese?
I thought you did.
Huh?
I thought you spoke Estonialish.
Estonianese.
Okay, whatever it is.
God, don't blow the gimmick, dude. I don't. Because there's also the Estonian, Estonian Thunderfrog. They're all part of the Baltic Siege. Then you have the Latvian Proud Oak, and then there's the proletariat Bolivian boar, and I think there's a polar bear too.
Okay.
Hey, that's all. Wrestling is fun, baby. Wrestling is fun.
Damn. And wrestling is a lot of things.
But you know what one thing is not?
What?
I don't know. I was hoping you knew the answer to that.
Nope, still working on that.
You sure?
Yeah, still working on some great answers for that.
I don't know what the hell my roommate is cooking, but it smells half good and half disgusting. Not lying, dude. Like, 1 minute it smells really good, and then it smells like lima beans. And I'm not a big... I'll eat lima beans, but I'm just not a big fan of lima beans.
Oh, by the way, I'm good on the links.
Too late. I've done sent like 30 over.
Okay, cool.
For some reason, Facebook's not working, but
Facebook's a pain in the ass.
I know, but I'm sending you a wiki, her.com, her Twitter, her Facebook, and Glory Wrestling.
Works for me.
So
scheduled to be joined by professional wrestling star Lexi Fife in just a few minutes here on Beyond Ringside Back to Basics. Want to give a very special thank you to Kevin Brannen with LXW, the League of Extraordinary Wrestlers, for joining us this evening. Looking forward to the show this coming Saturday night. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Also of IWA Deep South fame.
Yes, he is.
Burp.
There you go. And
good Lord, she's old.
You know, it's funny when the spoilers get out and supersede everything else. And then...
What are you talking about?
Devon.
Oh, yeah, you went ahead and read them?
No, I didn't have a choice because I got into a discussion Sunday after the pay-per-view, and it's like, well, guess what? He's already departed, and I get a message from Bill Behrens this morning going, he's available for bookings through Showbiz. It's like, yeah, that pretty much became obvious about who's going to be the one leaving this coming Thursday night on Impact.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't get that. I mean, I guess he didn't want to renew what he signed, maybe like a year, because it's been a year since the dudes, the aces and eights when he was unmasked after he was allegedly leaving.
Yeah, it's just the whole thing was just absolutely scrappy doodle screwed. Of course, I have to ask myself now, how long is it going to be before Rayleigh's, before Mark heads out?
I don't know. But who knows? Well, since you're already spoiled, you know that obviously the Brooke that he was talking to on the phone was not Hogan.
Yeah, I knew that the minute they were talking, the minute the conversation took place Thursday on Impact. It's like, yeah, that's going to be Adams.
She needs to become a house for my wiener.
She just is boring.
How is she boring, dude?
She's not that great in the ring, and she has fewer...
Okay, who cares?
She has fewer moving parts than a department store mannequin.
bull crap, whatever, dude. You know you would tag that in a heart friggin' beat. Don't act like you are like, she got your fake boobies and you're seeing this. I would never touch those. Liar. Liar, liar, pants ablaze.
The fact of the matter stands. The overall perspective for me is very simple. I mean, Impact 1 minute is getting it right. Impact the next minute is just like, what the living hell? I mean, but by the same token, I'm looking at the last 2 weeks of Ring of Honor going, please keep it up. Come on. Even though this past Saturday night on their regular show was the 100th anniversary and it was all best ofs. Well, guess what? That was a great starting point for a lot of new ROH watchers.
Well, also, even for those who might have seen it, because I've seen just about every one of those matches, it was also good because you had Roddy and Jay Lethal doing, not really commentary, but, almost like a...
Mystery Science Theater 3000.
No, not really so much that, but what do they call it when the DVD, when you got the director's commentary?
Yeah, director's cut.
Yeah. No commentary, director's cuts when you get to see the boobies and the pubes. There's a difference.
You are a sick man.
I know, right? I can't help it.
I think that's what we've all come to know and love about you, Bowman. That's all I can say.
No, because, see, when people start liking me, that's when I have to leave. I swear to God, he is cooking something with lima beans and tamale sauce or something. God.
Now,
Sorry.
I'm going to ask you the question that I laid out there that I expounded on in the first segment of the program before you called in.
And what would that be, Senorita?
Is the complete championship situation in the WWE with the singles titles completely and totally diluted because the roster split fell apart?
Haven't we been talking about that for like the past 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Well, the roster split's only been dissolved kind of like for the last 2 years, year and a half. I mean, that's when the...
Yeah, but I mean, you don't really... Well, I mean, not really, because mostly your SmackDown guys go after the SmackDown title, and your Raw guys go after the Raw title. I mean, it's a single time. I mean, I totally forgot the Intercontinental title existed until freaking
Curtis Axel.
McGillicuddy came out. I keep forgetting he has the belt. There's a project that seems to have failed. And the only reason why we know Ambrose has the U.S. title is because the Shield's on just about every week, which I'm fine with. Like I said, Dean Ambrose, phenomenal talent. Can't wait for him to get a singles run. To actually let him get on the mic and speak his mind and yada yada blah blah blah. I mean, I hate to say it would be the second coming of the pipe bomb, because there really only want to be one pipe bomb.
Right.
But you're talking once you get past the whole Hounds of Justice, blah 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 stuff that they're doing, and you can let Ambrose be Ambrose just a little bit more. Oh, you're going to see Punk level quality promos. So I would love to see Punk. I would love to see Punk and Ambrose, one tied up in the ring, two tied up mic to mic. I think that would be amazing.
I think it would be too. They really are just throwing curveballs, because 1 minute the direction of the show seems like it's leaning one way, and then the next match, the next segment, the next show, it looks like it's leaning an entirely different direction.
Well, yeah, but I mean, once again, when things start to become too predictable, you have to change it up. For example, the director, writer, actor Kevin Smith, when he was writing Red State years ago. Well, I say years ago, but it's only been like 2 or 3. When he was writing Red State, which, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to see a really good, I wouldn't say horror movie, because it's not really a horror movie. When you think horror movie, you think hacker, slasher, scary, demon, monster guys. It's scary as hell. Don't get me wrong. But it's more of a thriller. But he said when he would write the script, when he thought things were getting too predictable, he would take a hard left and throw a curveball. And that's what made this movie a hell of a lot better than even what anybody thought. So it's just, trust me, you got to go watch it. It's like a kind of a takes a shot at the Westboro Baptist Church. Not kind of, it really does. It's kind of like a combination of Westboro and the Branch Davidians. So definitely check that out. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you have to take that hard left. to stop predictability. And, you keep taking that hard left until you find a comfortable groove. And then once things start to become predictable again, you take a hard left. So,
speaking of predictability, you were on this past Sunday during the pre-show. You were going off of what Reddit Boy was doing, and
yeah, he got a couple of them wrong. But word going around now is that he's been saying that he wanted WWE to shut him down, prove him wrong, yada yada yada, and myself and my friend Jeff were speculating that maybe they put that information, the information he posted on,
yeah,
they might have put that out to try to, quote unquote, plug the leaks of, whoever was, giving out results and stuff. So
I really hope it did.
So, well, yeah, I mean, the guy's done it since, how many pay-per-views since WrestleMania? 4?
Yeah, 4.
4 or 5, so come on. But yeah, I mean, there were some things that it was blatantly obvious that what was going to happen, but he went in the opposite direction. So I think maybe that even though he probably knew personally what was going to happen, he was going after the Fed information just to maybe take WWE off or whatever, or just to kind of go with them. Because everybody knew Bray Wyatt was going to win. Yeah. Everybody, I guarantee you, well, the way Natty's been portrayed on Total Divas, she had to win because she's always, Have you watched it, by the way?
No.
Oh, you need to watch it. It's pretty funny. It's entertaining television. You and I've discussed our issues with it, but whatever whoever John is, I can't remember if John is Jimmy or Jay, but whichever one's dating Naomi.
Yeah.
They did him so wrong. It was so funny. It was so funny.
I don't know, dude. I cannot bring myself to watch it because they're showing too much behind-the-scenes stuff, and I hate to sound
Well, I agree, but it's also doesn't really focus on. But that's the thing is, you think that it's showing too much, but it's really not. It's actually showing more their lives. I mean, yes, it does intermingle. But still, I mean, we all know it's just about as scripted as what's on TV, or what's on the actual programming. They know what they're doing. So, I mean, really, if you think half of the stuff that's happened on there is real, seriously, come on, man.
No, dude, I don't watch shows. I don't watch that. I don't watch the Kardashians. I don't watch Braxton Family Values.
Who?
It's on another network. I mean,
Braxton Family Values.
I'm not kidding. Tony Braxton and her family. I will.
Really?
Yes. Dead serious. I don't watch the Real Housewives crap. The closest thing that I watch to reality TV is college football.
Hey, you do know that you heard the big announcement the other day, didn't you?
About Johnny Manziel?
No, that was it Bryant Denny Stadium? You hadn't heard about that, have you?
No, I haven't.
That's the Auburn one, right?
No, Jordan Hare is the Auburn Stadium. Bryant Denny.
I don't know. Well, they said that that's officially going to become the Auburn. What is it? Jordan
Hare.
Jordan.
Some say.
Spell it.
Okay.
While he looks it up on Google.
No, I know it's spelled Jordan, but everybody pronounces it Jordan.
Well, that's because this is a whole state full of toothless rednecks. Anyway, Jordan Hare Stadium. They said that that's going to become if there's ever any kind of super tornadoes or super hurricanes come through, that is going to be the official state tornado shelter because they guarantee you there's not going to be any touchdowns there.
There you go. I was waiting.
Thank you. I'll be out here all week.
I was waiting because I saw that earlier today.
I know. I posted on my friend Tiffany's Facebook page. Hey, try the filet mignon. All right, now back to the musical stylings of Topo Gigio.
You know, I'm sitting back reading some of the stuff that's going around right now, and somebody even actually has posted on one of the sheets that several within WWE also commented that it made no sense for Daniel Bryan to not kick out, considering how much time had passed between Triple H's pedigree and Orton's pin. You're reading too much into this crap.
Yeah, and then they're also saying, you know, how come all the stuff that Cena did to, you know, Bryan didn't knock him out, but one pedigree from a retired superstar lays him out that bad? Well, first of all, it's Triple H. I mean, how many tag teams has Triple H decimated when he had his run?
Oh, God, no.
More than Cena.
Yeah.
And, I mean, we all know Super Cena can beat any tag team by himself. So,
yeah. With the exception of the Shield.
Well, that's not really a tag team. That's a trio. So, that's what it is. It's what I like to call the Ambrose factor.
Yeah, pretty much.
Dude, did you see Rollins look like he blew his knee out? Yeah. Oh, Botch Cara lives, dude. Botch Cara lives.
Yeah, in more ways than one.
Like, seriously, he broke his fingers on the dive. Not his head, not his neck, not his back, not his knees, not his legs. His hand, his fingers. And the minute he hit the ground, you see him wave the ref over with the other hand. Triple H tore a quad and finished the match.
Yeah, I know.
CM Punk, back in the day, when he was in IWA Mid-South, cracked his skull in the match.
Yeah.
And he said it felt like somebody was pouring warm water down his head. He wasn't even bleeding. It was all internally.
Yeah.
He finished the match. Mike Quackenbush broke his back in the middle of a match.
Yep. And Kurt Angle won 2 gold medals with a broken freaking neck.
Yeah, dude, God, Bob Holly had his back gashed, he ripped open from a table.
I remember.
Kurt Angle broke Bob Holly's arm with a freaking moonsault. Eddie Guerrero broke his arm with a frog splash. All these people have done this. Sin Cara jammed some finger, he's like, oh.
No faith. And for the record, Eddie Guerrero dislocated consecutive elbows left then right on consecutive shows with the frog splash. I remember that like it was yesterday.
I mean, even frickin' Susie Spirit on Glow popped their arm popped their elbow out of the socket. Still finished the match.
Yeah.
Logo reshowed the documentary the other day, and I just happened to turn it over and I saw that spot, and I was like, oh.
Ow.
Oh, I remember when it happened.
So do I.
Oh, but, I mean, come on. Mr. Referee, I broke my fingers. Could you please stop the match? Please don't let Alberto kick me no more.
Yeah,
I go back to Mexico.
Yeah, really, and Alberto decided to lay a couple more kicks in. It's like, damn it.
Like, I didn't know what was going on, because, I mean,
I knew he was
landing it hard, and the ref was cussing at him. Did you hear him?
Yeah.
I was just like, whoa. I was like, it just got real. What happened?
Yeah, it did get real. Real fast.
Folks, I was just like, awkward.
Folks, tell you what, we're about to head to the bottom of the hour break. Scheduled to be joined by pro wrestling star Lexi Fife right here on Beyond Ringside in just a couple of minutes. MaBo, want to toss out Shameless?
No, I like that show. I think they should keep it. If they're going to toss out any other show, toss out the Liev Schreiber show.
Okay.
Or any other show on Showtime. But they need to keep Shameless, and, you know, since Dexter's last season, go ahead and keep that. But no, we're not going to toss out Shameless. It's awesome.
Shameless plugs.
Well, they don't come back till November, so I don't know, or maybe October, so I can't really plug when their show's coming back.
You want to do a last call?
I don't drink. Did you not hear the conversation with Kevin?
Yes, I heard the conversation with Kevin. It's a phrase by a vowel.
That's not a phrase.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only, Mark MaBo Bowman. Brother, thank you. Greatly appreciated. Folks, we're going to head to the bottom of the hour break at MA_BO over on...
Quit giving out my information. I told you, I'm not affiliated with this association, this company, this foundation, this federation, this conglomerate, or any other... Damn it, I forgot the word. Brain fart.
We're going to break. Be back in a minute.
Remember when your neighbor found us naked in the car, and the time some outdoor action got us kicked out of the park, getting frisky in the dark. I gave your eye a poke. Think the dog is in the bed. Do I smell smoke? You and me. Ever give up.
You didn't give up on sex. Don't give up on birth control either. There are more methods than you think. Visit bedsider.org to compare all the choices. Brought to you by Bedsider and the Ad Council. Bedsider.org.
You are a waste. A loser. Everyone hates you. Why don't you just stay in your car and keep driving? I'm serious. Drive until you run out of gas, then get out of your car and walk until you find someone who doesn't think you're dumber than bricks. Could take a while, but at least all that walking might burn a couple of calories.
You may not witness bullying like this every day. Your kids do. They want to help, but they don't know how. Visit stopbullying.gov to learn safe, simple ways your child can help stop bullying. Be more than a bystander at stopbullying.gov. A message from the Ad Council.
Every day I wake up at 5 to give Dad his medicine. Every day I wake up at 5 to give Dad his medicine. At 6 I make his breakfast. Every day I wake up at 5 to give Dad his medicine. At 6 I make his breakfast. At 7 I shower. Every day I wake up
For
at
those
5.
caring for a loved one, we hear you. That's why AARP created a community to help us better care for ourselves and the ones we love. Visit aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
You must be your fairy godmother?
Cinderella's dream comes true because the glass slipper fits.
It fits.
In our world, the right fit can be just as important, especially when it comes to car seats. Always choose a car seat that's the right fit for your child's age and size to make sure your little pumpkin gets there safely every time.
Hop in, dear. Thank you.
For more information, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat. This message has been brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Alright, I've gone through all the tracks, just move through the beats. Do your thing.
All right, everyone, let's hear it for West High's own Brooke Turner, a.k.a. DJ Hook.
Scratching at my first school dance takes confidence. So getting into college, I've got what it takes. So do you.
Visit knowhowtogo.org to learn what you should be doing right now to prepare for college. Start taking the steps at knowhowtogo.org. Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation, and the Ad Council.
You're so annoying.
You're so annoying.
Stop copying me.
Stop copying me.
Mom, tell her to stop copying me.
Mom, tell her to stop talking to me.
Kids will spend 10 minutes copying everything their sibling says.
You're such a doofus.
You're such a doofus.
How about 2 minutes to brush their teeth? Brushing for 2 minutes now can save your child from severe tooth pain later. For fun 2-minute videos to watch while brushing, visit 2min2x.org. 2 minutes, twice a day. They have the time.
Mom!
A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
Imagine me, a dog, moving in with a human. I didn't know how it would work. Turns out, my human's pretty entertaining. For instance, every time I give my human his ball, he throws it as far as he can. And I'm like, dude, that's your ball. So I go get it. But he just throws it. Again. I gotta say, though, the more he does it, the funnier it is. I love my human.
A person is the best thing to happen to a shelter pet. Be that person. Adopt. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the ShelterPetProject.org.
Hi, I'm Joe Perry. And Steven Tyler from Aerosmith, here for RAD, recording artists, actors, and athletes against drunk driving. Yeah, you know we love it when the music does the talking.
And you know, the music stops when someone gets killed.
So never let someone you know get behind the wheel if they've been drinking. So keep it real. Friends don't let friends drive drunk.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Joe Elliott from Def Leppard for RAD. Planning on going out and having a party? Great, have a lot of fun. But do me a big favour and don't blow it. Always choose a designated driver. Remember, music lives. You should too.
A public service message brought to you by the U.S. Department of Transportation, RAD, the National Association of Broadcasters, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Maria Inez Phillips talks about not recycling.
I've got too many newspapers and magazines and catalogs in there with plastic containers and bottles and cans.
Your trash can is full of recyclables?
No, it's full of trash.
You say trash, Maria.
I say rubbish.
Whatever it is, I'm not going through it. I just don't get it.
Some things are very obvious, Maria.
Learn the difference between trash and recycling and more.
I put out way too much trash to think about recycling.
Visit YouGotToBeKidding.org today.
Patty, I boldly went to socialsecurity.gov, and it's out of this world.
Socialsecurity.gov is a website for everybody.
Even teenagers?
Absolutely. Young people can help their grandparents with retiring online or getting extra help with their Medicare prescription drug costs.
So really, everyone of all ages should go to socialsecurity.gov.
Boldly go.
You know that the ice cream scoop can make a child smile, and that by slowing us down, the traffic light can keep us going. You know that the lawnmower makes life easier, that the blood bank makes life possible. But did you know all these ideas came from the minds of African Americans? Support the United Negro College Fund, because a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Visit uncf.org or call 1-800-332-UNCF. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Confusion ever someone or have sudden...
Have you ever had sudden confusion, trouble speaking, or understanding someone?
It could be one of the 5 signs of stroke.
Sudden weakness or numbness of the face, arm, or leg.
Sudden trouble with vision in one or both eyes.
Suddenly having trouble walking or difficulty with balance.
Or a sudden intense headache that comes out of nowhere.
Don't wait. Call 911 immediately.
Time lost is brain lost.
Find out more at powertoendstroke.org. Brought to you by the American Heart Association, American Stroke Association, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Charlie. I fight fires and I save lives.
My name's Renee. I'm a cardiologist. I save lives.
My name's Anthony. I'm an EMT. I save lives.
You don't have to be a professional to save a life. Firefighters, doctors, and others save lives. You can too. Don't wait. To learn more about the warning signs and how you can help prevent suicide, visit save.org. In a crisis, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK.
And we are live on a great Tuesday night. 22 minutes before the top of the hour. Welcome back into the program, Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics. Live from the Vault in the Full Range Entertainment Studios in beautiful Birmingham, Alabama. Fast Eddie Layne behind the control panel, welcoming in very special guest professional wrestling star, Lexi Fife. Lexi, glad to have you on Beyond Ringside tonight.
No, thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.
Now, I want to start with what I like to call the signature question. And the reason why I call it, because everybody has a little bit different story, and it makes it that much more fun for me. For all of us, in our respective walks of life, whether it be pro wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing, any sport or business, normally that first moment where you become a fan or admirer, in our case, primarily fan for pro wrestling, the second moment is when the little light bulb goes off over your head and that little voice goes, I got to do this, I got to do this, I got to do this. For Lexi Fife, what are those two moments?
Well, I can remember watching wrestling as a little girl, I would say young girl, and I remember seeing Sting and like the Ultimate Warrior on my TV screen, and they were just so crazy, and the colors and everything just really attracted me. But my parents weren't big wrestling fans, so I didn't really start watching again. I would sneak out, Saturday mornings and stuff like that when they were still in bed and eat my cereal and watch. But it's not that they were against it, it's just they weren't big fans. So then I didn't start getting into it again probably until college. And then I had a group of college friends that really just loved wrestling. They watched wrestling, and I got into it again then. So I kind of came into it like with the Kevin Nash Diesel stage, and right around that age is where I really, I say that's where I became the biggest fan, because I watched it continuously from then until now. So I guess that was my point of fandom. As far as starting, I don't know. It's like I never, thought, well, I want to be a professional wrestler until I met Brandywine, and she suggested it as, something to do. And I've always been a tomboy, and I thought, I love watching wrestling, so why not take it that step further? And I went to a local show early because she asked me, she's like, come early, I'm balleting tonight, and I haven't started training yet, I want a training partner. And I went early, and I met the promoter, and he said, yeah, I'm looking for some female wrestlers. He's like, I'd love it. I'd love to give you a tryout, whatever. And so I got in the ring with a couple of the trained guys, and I took a body slam, and I went, oh, wow, that really hurt, but well, that was fun. I got this adrenaline rush, and and that was it for me. I was like, I signed up for training, and I started training, and the next thing I knew, I was doing shows. And I must say that first time when I walked through the curtains, they're playing my music, and I walked through the curtains, and the fans reacted, I was just like, this is where I'm supposed to be. So that was like that. I guess that was my light bulb moment. And I just felt like I had finally found like my calling. I was still trying to play around and decide what I wanted to do with my career. I graduated college, and I was like, oh, what do I do? I got to get a job, And like I said, I walked through the curtains, and I was like, this is what I'm meant to do right here and right now. This is and that was it. And how many years later? That was 1995. So
now the loaded question is, why or what was your real motivation for getting into pro wrestling?
It was, I must say, it's all Brandywine's fault.
There you go.
I blame her that all the time when I wake up in the morning and I'm really sore. I'll text her. I'm like, it's all your fault. I can't move today. Yeah, I met her. We both had real jobs, quote unquote. We worked for Laboratory Corporation of America. Yay! And we were both kind of like, well, what are we going to do with the rest of our lives? We met on a break. She was reading a wrestling magazine, and I said, this was end of 1994, beginning of 95, and there weren't as many female fans back then. And I was like, cool, I said, another girl likes wrestling. Cool, let's talk about this. And so on our breaks, we would talk wrestling. And she really wanted to start training, but she wanted to start training with another female, because it was like I said, it was a lot of guys back then, and she didn't feel as comfortable training with them. And I was like, well, I like to lift weights. I ride mountain bikes. I'm kind of active, so I'll give it a try. And so really it was her that kind of talked me into it. And like I said, I took a couple bumps, and I was sold on it. I was like, this is fun. So yeah, I blame it all on her.
In how many different areas have you worked?
How did the what? I'm sorry.
How many different geographic areas have you worked?
Oh, well, that was in North Carolina. I was living in Burlington, North Carolina at the time. And so we started training in Winston-Salem, and then I trained down at the Omega camp and with the Hardys and like all that area. So I kind of got brought up in the business in North Carolina.
Okay. Now, I've got to ask a question. In the time that you spent in the world of pro wrestling, and this is always a loaded question for everybody, in this day and age especially, has the term diva and or knockout given a negative connotation to women's wrestling, in your opinion?
That is a loaded question, but I'm going to answer honestly. I think yes, it has, because I think it takes away from the fact that that should be trained wrestlers to get in the ring. Basically, to me, that's saying that if you're if you look at the definition of diva, it doesn't have anything to do with wrestling. And if you look at the the definition of knockout, besides the the actual like knocking somebody out term, it doesn't really have anything to do with wrestling. So I just saying, hey, if you're a good-looking chick, you can get in the ring. And really, I think I have always promoted myself as a female wrestler, a women's wrestler, first and foremost. So I hate the fact that they took wrestler out of the female term. If they were still wrestling like they used to, I wouldn't mind so much. And it seems like WWE may be swinging back around, but I can't tell now that they've got this Total Divas show. But they have a lot of independent wrestler girls. Well, I shouldn't say a lot, but they have a few independent wrestler girls, and their training facility now. So maybe they'll start swinging back around. I don't know. They say everything comes in cycles. So, but at this time, yes, I would say that those are kind of derogatory terms in my mind.
Now, I also like to find out, when you were training, whether it be at the original place you started training or through the Omega camp, were you held to a different standard because you were a woman in the ring?
The original place I went, I trained, I would say kind of yes. Our original trainer didn't like us to train with the guys, and so Brandy and I were kind of like, we had to train with just each other for a little while, and it was harder to learn that way because you kind of, when you're learning, you kind of need to be in there with somebody who knows what they're doing to guide you and to teach you more. So I think it was a little harder. But as far as our matches, no. I mean, he was very harsh on us. He'd say, that was terrible. This was good. So I can't say that. And then no, when I went to the Omega camp, they beat the crap out of me the first day I came, just like they did the rest of the guys. So they wanted to see if I was going to stick it out. And since when I came back, I got the respect, and that's when I was able to stick around and learn a lot. But at shows, definitely, like any other promoters that I worked for, they'd just be like, oh, that was a great match, even if it wasn't, or let's say, this one really killed me, that was a great match for a girl.
Yeah.
So I would say we got treated differently by other promoters, maybe not as much as our training school and themselves. I think when you promote yourself at your training schools, they were able to get to know us, and they knew we were serious about the business. When we just worked for a promoter, like for the first time, say, they would know how serious we were about the business, and so they didn't take us as seriously as we wanted to be taken sometimes.
I have to ask, top 3 out there moments that you've been through so far as a part of pro wrestling?
Wow, I have to do just 3. Are you talking in-ring, out-of-ring? What would you like?
All of the above.
I have to say one of my favorite memories was working with Wendy Richter. That was really exciting for me. We did an overseas tour together, and it was all military bases. And when we went to the one in Bosnia, it was we had already worked each other probably 12 times by then. It was like a 16-day tour. I don't know, the crowd was, this is Bosnia in 1999, so it was still really like, there's still a lot of like fighting here and there going on, and it was still really, like, it's just a tricky place. Like, we had to travel with armed guards and stuff like that. It wasn't, wasn't the most pleasant place to go to back then. It's gotten a lot better. Just the crowd reaction and everything, and our match just went it was just spot on. At least I feel like it. I don't have videotape of it. I don't know if I ever want to watch it because everything just felt like it went so awesome with the crowd and everything. And so that's like one of my favorite match memories ever. As far as weird stuff, wow, there's been so much. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see. Brandy White and I stayed at a promoter's house one time. I won't tell you who or where or when. Well, when was a long time ago. But and he had a dog that had his leg broken. It was pit bull mix. His leg had gotten broken somehow. I don't know how. And so every time the poor dog tried to go to the bathroom, he would fall over because he was a male dog. He tried to lift his leg. He'd fall over because of his broken leg. Then I had to sleep on the couch, and there was 5 guys that I didn't know sleeping on the living room floor with me. That was interesting. And then I got up in the middle of the night, and we had pizza for dinner, and they had left pizza boxes out, and there was roaches crawling all over everything. So needless to say, we didn't stay with him anymore. That was we laugh about that one sometimes, but it was kind of gross all at the same time. So let's see, that was 2. Let's see. I got to change names and dates sometimes to protect the not so innocent. So, I don't know. We got asked by a sheriff one time at a West Virginia town if we could who do we need to talk to? What did he say? He said, who do we need to talk to make sure y'all don't leave our town? I really think they were trying to keep us for breeding purposes, but we escaped. So that was a couple of them.
You were also credited for another on-camera appearance on a national platform. You know where I'm going on this one, right? Are you there?
Yeah, you cut out for just a second, but you're back.
Yeah, I don't know if you heard a minute ago. We just had like a 30-second long sustained thunderclap overhead, and it's like, wow, okay.
Okay, yeah, that must have been what it was, because all of a sudden, I didn't hear it, because all of a sudden you kind of went dead silence for a second, but okay, we're back.
Cool. Now, what I was saying was, I'm hoping this hint works. You were given credit for a cameo appearance on a national television program, correct?
Sure, a couple of them. Which one are you talking about?
I'll let you take them both. Yeah. If you can still do Hillary's voice, I got Bill down pat. You and I can run together for office.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. I'll say that. That was a lot of fun, actually. I know it took a lot. It got a lot of I don't know, silly heat, I guess, for being kind of silly. But at the same time, I had so much fun doing it. Like, if she runs for office again, I'll be right there for him. So,
would you actually consider doing the idea of a stunt double for her?
But they what? You are breaking in and out. You must be having a thunderstorm.
We are. Have you ever considered the idea of doing stunt double work for her on the next time she runs?
Oh. No, I didn't hear that, but no, I don't think I'd be interested in that.
Now, I have to ask, one of my favorite questions, we have what's called the lightning round that we'll do every once in a while, and it just, I see some of the different areas, some of the different companies with which you've worked, and one of the different parameters that I'll lay out there for the lightning round is what would be one of the scarier places for you to work, a true television taping or a nightclub show?
I don't know. I've done both, and I've kind of gotten used to both of them. So I would say maybe a nightclub show would be worse. Yeah.
Because the rule book gets totally changed, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's you have to play off the crowd, and so it would just depend on like I guess what kind of a nightclub it was. But that's it. Yeah, like TV tapings, they're like, I don't know. I've done them so often, and and now we do the pay-per-view stuff, so that doesn't bother me at all. So yeah.
Now, when doing my homework, one of the things that jumped out, and one of our tag team partners on the Sunday night edition of Beyond Ringside is Tasha Simone, and you and she have something in common.
Oh yeah.
And that would be the National Wrestling Alliance Women's World Championship, which you have held on a previous occasion.
Yes, definitely.
Now, for those who don't know, when was that title run?
Oh, okay. You're asking me to pull numbers out of my head. Let's see.
There may be math involved later, too.
I'm sorry, what was that?
There may be math involved later, which, of course, I will be the asker and not the askee. That's why I became a DJ. I suck at math.
Yeah, I just don't like. I'm really bad at dates when you've wrestled as many years as I did. That they kind of run together after a while. I wonder if I have it.
2005.
There you go. Thank you. I was just looking that up. There. I'm glad you did your homework. Sorry.
No, it's perfectly.
Yeah, 2000. Yeah. That would be about right. Yes. Yeah, because I have to sit there and go, okay, let's see. I was in Louisville from 2002 to 2000. So I have to do that in my head and then go, okay. Then I lived in Florida, and then I went. Yeah, so 2005 sounds right to me.
Now, the reason why I bring that up is because I know that there are different levels of nerves in play on different matches, regardless where the match is, the type of match it is, and whether or not there's a title involved, and whether it be your first of a regional or a company-wide or a franchise-wide. And I say it like that to say this. What occasion did you have either butterflies, hummingbirds, or pterodactyls in your stomach? Your first match, your first televised match, or your first time with something like the NWA Women's World Championship?
I'll tell you the most pet match. I actually did a tryout match at CW before the show, in front of just all the ECW boys. They kind of like sit around the ring like lumberjacks, and I did a tryout match for them, and this was basically at their height, so that it was when they were really popular and going really, really well for them. And that was the most scared I've ever been to do a match. You know, the first time I did a televised match was with WWE, and it was in Detroit, Michigan. It was in front of 19,000 people. It was live Sunday Night Heat. I was not as nervous as I was doing the tryout match with all the boys watching, because I mean, it was like, you know, Jerry Lynn was there, and Rob Van Dam was there, like all these people that I had, you know, that I watched and I admired and I really, you know, respected their knowledge and their wrestling, and they were watching me. It was the scariest 5 minutes of my life. I'll be honest. I don't know if I've ever told anybody that before besides, you know, other workers. So there you go.
That is actually the first time that style of answer has been brought into play. Now, this past Saturday and this past weekend on the Beyond Ringside shows, the Saturday Morning Showcase and Sunday Night Live, we had a question, and I believe you are perfectly suited with your background in pro wrestling. Who would you personally put on your Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling?
Say the whole question again, because I don't think I got all of it, because like you said, you're having a thunderstorm. So who would I personally do?
Who would you put on your personal Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling?
Okay. Well, I've always told people this, and I truly believe it. I like different wrestlers for different reasons. So I don't know that I have just like that one perfect person. I guess as close as I can come is maybe Chris Jericho, because I think he can talk on the mic, he can pull you into his story, he can be a heel, he can be a babyface, and I think his wrestling is just so very good. So I think he's probably the closest. You know, he's got charisma, he's got everything. But like I really like the Rock for his charisma. Like just like, you know, he walks out and he just the whole place goes like, it gives you goosebumps, because whatever venue he's in, the whole place is just going to erupt. You know. But then I really liked to watch Eddie Guerrero wrestle, and I really like to watch Dean Malenko wrestle. And so I've got like different favorites for different reasons. But I mean, I guess Chris Jericho for the overall, like, because he's got a little bit of everything, and I think he's got like, not to use a phrase from somebody else, but I think he's got a little bit of the total package, you know. Okay. So yeah. I guess that's my answer. Okay, and actually, so Jericho would be your first one on Mount Rushmore? Yes. Okay, I was about to say you got 3 more slots to fill if you want to. I'll let you come back to that one. Yeah, you know, like I said, I think Eddie Guerrero would probably be my second. Because, you know, he's got the charisma, and he had the charisma, and I really love to watch him wrestle. And then third, wow. Then I would have to go into the women like Leilani Kai and Wendy Richter. Like, I think they kind of tie for me as far as the women wrestlers go. I used to love watching Leilani, whether she was a glamour girl or then when she just was Leilani Kai later. And plus she taught me so much in wrestling that I got a special place for her. And you know, of course, you know, watching wrestling bits and pieces on and off through the years, you know, we had the Wendy Richter and the Rock and Wrestling thing, and so that was always a lot of fun. Plus, you know, like she taught me a lot on that tour that I went on, so yeah, I'd have to put those two like equal for the third slot there. Okay. Now, I want to ask, with your time in the world of pro wrestling, you have seen, just like I have, the internet come into play in so many different ways in pro wrestling. Mm-hmm. Yep. Do you feel overall that the internet has been a help or a hindrance in pro wrestling? I think it's definitely been a help for getting your name out there and marketing your shows. And obviously, I can't complain about the internet because that's how I make a living with Slamming Ladies. So I love it for that fact. As far as being a hindrance, the only thing I think a hindrance is that, you know, it kind of, I mean, we all say that Vince McMahon killed the kayfabe of wrestling, but the internet definitely helps a lot. You know, people can look up stats on people and find out, you know, where they live and find out they're not really from wherever, or, you know, there's things like that. They can find out their real names and things. So I think it's kind of, you know, hurt with kayfabe a lot. But like I said, I run Slamming Ladies, so I can't complain about the internet at all, because that's how I make my living.
Now, you brought that one up, and I'd like to ask you, if you have a minute, go ahead and expound on Slamming Ladies a little bit.
SlammingLadies.com, and we are basically a custom wrestling company, although we put out a lot of our own matches, too. If we have a pairing here that we really like, and, you know, like we've been bringing Leilani in, who, like I said, is near and dear to my heart, and we've been pairing her up with people that we want to see her wrestle, like Sarah Del Rey. Like, that was like a dream match for us.
Yeah.
And because I always thought of Sarah Del Rey as kind of being, you know, the young version of Leilani Kai, so to see them in the ring together was really, like, that was special for me. So, but yeah, so, you know, you can order custom matches, and since, you know, like, all right, say you wanted to see me wrestle Leilani Kai, you can say, you know, hey, Lexi, I'd like to see you wrestle Leilani Kai, and I'd like to see it end in a sleeper hold, and we will put on that match for you. So it was a way to, when after the Attitude Era, and you had, you know, Molly and Lita and Ivory and all of those girls come in and kind of like really kind of pushed women's wrestling back up to the forefront for a little while there. We had this influx of like, girls that wanted to be wrestlers. And so we weren't making as much money on the indies anymore because, you know, then all of a sudden, I'll call her Susie No Name, would come in and say, well, I'll work your show for $20. And even though she wasn't really good, he would pay her $20 and say, hey, you know, Lexi, I'm sorry, I can't book you this month. So we were starting to, like, lose some bookings, or they wanted to start cutting our pay. So it was basically a way to supplement our income. Like, say I was on a show with Amber O'Neal and Rain and Brandywine. I would ask the promoter, like, hey, can we use the ring for the show? And that's how we started.
Right.
We would just kind of put matches together before the show and do a couple matches, and, you know, all the girls make a little bit of extra money then, and then it wouldn't hurt so bad if they wanted to cut our pay down to $100 a show or whatever it was, you know, or, well, I'll pay you your pay, but I can't really afford the trans, you know, that type of thing.
Right.
And that's how it started, and then it just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of went from there, and it got bigger and better, and so now we own our own ring and we do everything in-house. So it's been good because I was always wondering, well, what will I do after my wrestling career is over? And so now I have the answer. Well, now I help other girls make money, and I make money myself, so it's good.
Well, I want to say thank you for bringing to light something that we have talked about on this show on more than one occasion, whether it be here on Tuesday Back to Basics, Sunday Night Live, Saturday Morning Showcase, and the To Be Determined show on Wednesday nights. When you have promoters who are trying to cut corners, when you have talented in-ring, I don't like to use the word performers, but when you have talented wrestlers, trained wrestlers who know their craft, who are being undercut by these little kids who are coming in who really probably have not been trained that well, and will say, well, I'll do the show for this much money. And you just made it perfectly clear a minute ago that you've had promoters call you back and say, well, I've got this person who's going to do it for this. Can you either match this or I can't use you? And it's like, to me, that's an utter load of crap, because trained, talented professionals should never have to make that kind of a cut. Look, I'll say this. In the time that I've been able to do my homework, you've busted your ass in this business. And for nickel and dime promoters who want to try to pull crap like that, they're the ones who don't need to be promoting shows to begin with, because if you want to put on a quality show, you bring in the people who have been trained, who know their craft. Agree or disagree?
I agree. I'm going to play a little bit of a devil's advocate here, though, and say that at the beginning of my career in like Brandywine, we kind of accidentally did that to our veterans, because it's partly the training school or lack of training school that the people are going to, and the fact that some of the veteran wrestlers aren't stepping up and saying this is what you need to do, because nobody told Brandywine and I what we should charge once we started branching out of our home feds.
Right.
You know, our home feds, we work for cheap because we train with them, and we work off the door or whatever, because that was how you did it. That's how you paid your dues.
Right.
But when we started branching out and working outside of our training feds, like, nobody told us what to charge, and so we found out, I don't know, like 6 months in, I got a call from Malaya Hasaka, actually, and she said, "You guys know you're undercutting the rest of us, and like we can't get jobs anymore." And we were like, "No." And I'm like, "What are we supposed to be charging?" And when she told us, I'm like, "I'm not worth that yet." Like, I felt guilty, like, asking for what she wanted me to ask for, because I didn't think I was that good yet. And she's like, "But you can't ask us for that, because then we're not getting work." And then that's when we, Brandywine and I started asking for what the proper amount was supposed to be. And so that's the problem, is that those girls that were coming in after the Attitude Era, I don't think anybody smartened them up, because whoever they were training under or not training under, because a lot of them, like you said, weren't really getting proper training, nobody's telling them these things. And that's one of the things that I try and help the girls out with now. Like, I tell them, don't go for $20, because you're worth more than that, or make sure you're at least getting everything paid for, because if so I try and smarten them up, where so in a way I couldn't blame the girls for doing it, but at the same time it was making all of us mad. I don't know, it was kind of like a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah, but see, by the same token, when you were approached and told, you didn't turn around and go rebellious on Malaya. You turned around and said, "Well, how much am I supposed to be?" And then, but you listened. Yeah. You listened, and that's the good thing. That's what a lot of people aren't doing. I mean, that's my. Yep. Go ahead.
No, I said, yep, that was it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I do have to ask, how many hats do you wear in pro wrestling?
A lot. I seem to be doing a lot right now. My husband and I run Slammin' Ladies, and so we're constantly online doing that stuff. And then, I'm the VP of Talent Relations with Shine, and that keeps me super busy.
Yeah.
And then I have a handful of girls that I'm going to call it mentoring. We have like practices, and I go through things with them, and I help them learn new moves. And I can't say I'm running a training school. It's just a handful of girls that I'm close with that have approached me and really want to improve their skills, and so they're coming to me, and we meet like every Sunday. And so, yeah, it gets a little bit busy around here. So I have a full calendar.
And you opened up the door beautifully, and I thank you for the setup and the segue. You make the reference to being the VP of Talent Relations for Shine Pro Wrestling, or Shine Wrestling. And matter of fact, this Friday, just a couple of days away, August 23rd, at the Orpheum in Ybor City, Florida, 1915 East 7th Avenue, Shine 12 will take place. Now, I've had
that was a nice ad there. Thank you.
Not a problem. You should hear me as a ring announcer and doing play-by-play.
You can tell.
What were the two words I told you before we went live? Shameless promotion. I am the oracle of shameless self-promotion, and the rest of my cast who are listening in different cities right now are going, "He's doing it again." Okay, and yes, I am. Now,
we appreciate it.
Not a problem. It's going to be this Friday, August 23rd, 9 p.m. local time, which is going to be Eastern time, right?
Correct.
Okay. I make that point because of the fact that not only is this going to be a live event in Ybor City, Florida, but it will also be live on iPay-per-view through WWNlive.com, correct?
That is correct. Yes, order now.
Now, let's take a look at some of the matches that have been signed for this Friday night in Ybor City, Florida. a person that you were kind enough to help us set up an interview with, Kimber Lee, and this is going to be the ring announcer's phonetic nightmare of the night. I say I say that as a ring announcer because you've got Kimber Lee taking on Kimberly in this match. Give us a little bit of background on that one.
Well, I mean, how can he mess it up? As long as he says Kimberly, people think he's getting it right? I want to say we did that on purpose. Sorry, Lenny. Yeah, no, I think it's going to be kind of funny, and I will probably laugh at him. Yeah, actually, people have been asking about this one for a while because we have had Kimberly on the show a few times, and so a lot of the fans were like, "We'd like to see Kimberly versus Kimberly," and we talked about it and we kind of laughed about it, and then we thought about it for a little while longer. We actually that's going to be a good match. Not just will it make Lenny tongue get all tied up. It'll actually be a good match. So that's I think it's going to be some really good in-ring action there. And then I do think we'll get some giggles from Lenny's messing things up. So it'll be good.
Now, I have to say, this next match that I'm going to bring up, I actually am going to be paying very close attention to this one because I know a number of the people in the ring personally. The West Coast Connection, the Island Girl, Tracy Taylor, longtime friend and co-worker, GCW Women's Champion, former PGWA Women's Champion, teaming up with Sue Young for this match, taking on the All-Star Squad of Solo Darling and Nikki Rocks.
With their manager Daphne.
Yeah, I was going to let you get that one in there. It's going to be. It's good to know the Scream Queen is coming back into the picture.
Yes, I'm really happy. I mean, she was doing a really great job as the ring announcer, but at the same time, I mean, she's just such an awesome manager that I felt like we were missing out on that. And so when she decided to step back from ring announcing and go back into managing, I felt like that was a really great decision for her. And it's really lit a fire. Like, she's really happy with it. And, and she's got, like, the veteran of Nikki Rocks and then the rookie of Solo Darling. I think it's a good, start to her all-star squad. And I think she'll probably add to her squad sooner or later. Not sure. She's talked about a couple people, and I've said, well, you could approach them and see what happens. And so I'm looking forward to seeing, if her faction grows or if it stays with these two, Nikki Rocks and Solo Darling. And I'm interested in seeing the dynamic with that. Like I said, you have a veteran and a rookie together, and I think it's going to be a really fun match because with Tracy and Sue. They do really well together, and so I'm looking forward to seeing the dynamics of that one.
Matter of fact, if my notes are correct, aren't both? I know Tracy was former WWE developmental. She was, I believe, it was Deep Southern Championship Wrestling, and sometime in OVW. Did some work down in Florida. I know Sue Young was down in developmental in Florida, right?
Yes, she was. So they're both ex WWE developmental. I don't know. Our their loss is our game.
Exactly. Because I have to say it like this, and I'm going to go off the beaten path for a second. The company that I work with on a full-time basis had a show recently in Pell City, Alabama, and Tracy was defending the GCW Women's Championship in a three-way match between her, Taylor Hendricks, and Tasha Simone, former NWA Women's World Champion. 25-minute match, absolutely tremendous. All three ladies just completely lit it up and rocked the walls. So I can only imagine if she does that. I mean, and Tracy's worked in tag matches, so I know that she and Sue Young are no strangers to each other. So I believe the All-Star Squad is going to have all they can handle this coming Friday.
I think so, because this is the first time that Nikki and Solo will be working together. So, I think it'll be interesting. I know they get along fine in the back and everything, but they've never actually worked a match together. And Nikki's done some tag, she's had tag teams in the past, but she's been mostly a singles wrestler her career, and Solo is, she's like a solo rookie, right. And she's done, some tags, but not in a faction or anything, so this will be new to her. And tag wrestling is a totally different, animal than singles wrestling. Yes. I mean, I learned that in the hard way when Dave put Malay and I together at Shimmer, as the experience, we had Malay and I had similar styles, but I'd always been a singles wrestler, and so all of a sudden I was like, oh, I have to tag? How do I do that? You know? so yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Nikki and Solo pull it together and can work together in a cohesive team.
It is 15 after the top of the hour. You are listening to Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics. Fast Eddie Layne being joined by professional wrestling star Lexi Fife. Also, the person in charge with Slammin' Ladies, and the VP of Talent Relations for Shine Wrestling. Taking a few moments to go over the cards slated for this Friday in Ybor City, Florida. Remember, you can also take a look at shinewrestling.com. They're available on Twitter, on Facebook, in more places. You know I'm going to use the phrase, kids, then I have active brain cells. There we go. 1-on-1 match this Friday in Ybor City. Santana taking on Brandywine. Santana's going to have Amber O'Neal in her corner, and Brandywine is going to be seconded by a lady you just mentioned a minute ago, Malia Hasaka.
Yes, definitely. Mm-hmm. So I think that'll be interesting. You know, Malia being in Brandywine's corner is definitely going to add to the match. When last time we had Brandywine at Shine, Malia came out with her and definitely caused a little ruckus here and there. So that's why Santana asked if Amber could come out with her, and we agreed. So I don't know. I think that's going to be there might be more shenanigans going on outside the ring than in the ring. We'll have to see.
Also taking place this coming Friday, a match that I'm will be another match I'm really keeping an eye on. Leva is going to be taking on one of our new best friends here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, Christina Von Eerie.
Mm-hmm. That's definitely going to be a barn burner. I think that's going to be great. I can't wait to see Leva's costume for this one because she's kind of gone to the dark side for us. Ever since she started her feud with Kimberly, her costumes haven't been as cheerful and happy-go-lucky as she usually is. So, and now she's facing Christina Von Eerie with all of her, her mohawk and everything like that. So you never know what Leva's going to come up with. Plus, they're two very, their styles are very different. So I think it's going to be an interesting matchup there. I'm eager to see who's going to come out on top with that one.
Now, you've got how many matches signed up for this event this coming Friday?
I think it's 8.
Okay. And actually...
8.
Okay. Because you've got some amazing talent coming in on this show. And speaking of the word amazing...
Mm-hmm.
Here's your setup.
Amazing Kong. Yes, we have the rematch that from Shine 3 or 4, no, Shine 5, I think. Amazing Kong versus Mercedes Martinez. That's going to be a fight right there. Amazing Kong has not been able to get her hands back on Mercedes very much. A little bit in the tag match that they had with Mercedes and Rain, but not in a singles capacity. And so I think she's going to, really put it to Mercedes. So, but Mercedes has never wanted to back down from a fight. So, I don't know. We'll see. I think we'll see some fist flying.
Also in action this Friday, Angelina Love taking on Shanna.
Yeah, Shanna is our debut this month. She's the Portugal's perfect athlete. So I've only seen her on video. I've never met her in person. But the video I've seen is she's very athletic, and I don't know if she's the perfect athlete, but she is very athletic. She also has a little bit of an attitude, so we thought matching her with Angelina Love would be interesting because Angelina doesn't like to take any stuff off anybody. So so we'll see. She might take Shanna down a couple pegs, or maybe Shanna will make her debut and take Angelina down. So I think that was going to be a good one. They're both really great athletes, so I think that one's going to be a really fast-paced and really good match. So we'll see.
Now, I've got to call this one the do not blink or don't blink. No relation to Kenny Chesney. Don't blink match of the night. The number one contender three-way matchup. You've got Ivelisse, Mia Yim, and Jessica Havoc all in the same ring.
Yeah, that one's going to be crazy. All three of them have a bone to pick. Well, I can't say that Ivelisse has a bone to pick with Rain, but all the three of them have a bone to pick with not coming out on top in the tournament. So, Rain, if you listen to her, the video that she sent in, the video package that she sent in, she basically said, you have no clear number one contender, so why should I defend the belt? And then, so as VP of Talent Relations, we had a little Shine meeting, and so we said, okay, you know what? You're kind of right. We don't have a clear number one contender right now because of some of the issues that went on during our tournament with Jessica being taken out with an injury and everything. So this is what we decided to do. We're going to have this number one contender three-way match. We felt that Jessica Havoc, without the injury, would have had a really good chance. Mia Yim obviously went all the way to the finals, and Evilise could have made it to the finals, except that she got hit by rain accidentally, so they say. So we can't. We don't. Those were the three that we felt did the best during the tournament. So we felt those were the best to have in the number one contender match.
And the winner.
So like you said, don't blink, don't look away, because you're gonna miss something. That's gonna be a crazy match. It's it's a fatal three-way, so the first pinfall or submission is it, and so it's gonna get a little bit okay. Got a kid crying. Sorry.
It's quite okay. Family comes first.
So that'll be an interesting thing. Hold on one second. I'm so sorry. Sorry.
It's perfectly fine. Look,
it's so unprofessional.
No, actually, if you need to, I can take a quick commercial break, give you a couple of minutes.
So, all right, I'm going in the other room. There we go. So, so anyways, as I was trying to say, so when we were talking about it in our meeting and trying to decide what we wanted to do, and I don't even remember who brought it up and suggested it, but we're like, wow, that would be a great match, and and then for the winner to be able to go on and challenge Rain and get a chance at the title again, that's I think that's going to make for a really exciting night of wrestling.
And the winner of that three-way goes straight into a Shine Championship match taking on Rain. You've made the statement that Jessica has a bone to pick, Mia Yim has a bone to pick, Evilise has a bone to pick all the way, and everybody is aiming for Rain. And which would be the dream matchup for you on this one? I know that's kind of a funky question to ask the VP of Talent Relations, because any one of those three versus Rain is going to be a solid matchup. The winner of that one is definitely going to be the fans, just like the winner all the way through this card. Because I hate to use the word amazing for the third time in one interview, but doggone it, it sticks. It sticks. It really does, because you've got some tremendous competitors in there who know their way around the ring, and to see the matchups that you've got lined up for Shine 12. If you're not able to be there in person in Ybor City, Florida, which for our friends all the way across the board, whether it be Tampa, Orlando, Kissimmee, all the way down to a little bit further south, guess what? It's not. I believe Daytona's still within arm's reach of Ybor City, and I mean, go figure. And I haven't been to Florida I haven't been to the peninsula in years. I've been to Northwest. I've been to the Redneck Riviera a number of times, but Gulf Coast. I don't know if you'd ever heard that expression before, but
I have, yes.
Okay, I never assume. Real quick, by the way, let's go ahead and get the plug in. You've got a very special hostess coming in for this event.
Yes, Chastity Taylor is coming back for our hostess. This will be her, third show. She's gotten better and better, and we're really eager to see her again. And I feel like she's fitting into the show very well. And can't wait to see where she goes from here. So she's got a great attitude, and she's got a great speaking voice, and she really loves wrestling. That's an important thing for me.
Now, let everybody who may be in the proximity, and I'll say this: 2 hours is not too far to drive for this kind of a lineup. You're damn right I'd do it if I were that close. Let everybody know the ticket info.
You can get the tickets now. They're usually available at the door too, but you can get the tickets now through. You can just go to ShineWrestling.com and order them, or you can come to the venue or the Orpheum in Ybor City and get them there at the door. I do recommend the VIP stage tickets. They're $50, but you get the limited edition Shine 12 poster. It's autographed by everybody who's on the show. And then you get to hang out afterwards, and we have they call it a VIP party, but it's just kind of like everybody hanging out and saying hi, and you get to actually meet pretty much all of the wrestlers. And there's a little bit of food and sometimes cake if it's somebody's birthday, and you just kind of get to hang out and get a little bit more of a personal, pictures. You can just take more pictures with them, and, you get to actually talk to the wrestlers, and it's just, I don't know, it's just a little bit more personal. But, general admission is definitely fine. The venue is set up where there's pretty much no bad seating. Front row, first row reserved is $30. General admission is $15. But I mean, like I said, general admission, even you can see the show with no problem. But they can't make it down. Like you said before, they could order it at WWNlive.com, and they can watch it on pay-per-view in their own home. And so I hope we have a packed house, and I hope we have lots of internet buys. It always makes it a lot more. Especially the live house, of course. If the more people we have there, and the louder they get, it's just more fun overall.
Amen.
So yeah.
Yeah, because, I mean, for those in North Alabama, for those all the way in California, for those who are abroad, I mean, I understand that you might not be able to make it to South Florida for this event. That's why definitely check it out. iPay-per-view is the wave right now, and it's definitely the way to go. And for those who are in the Florida Peninsula area, definitely check it out because it's not that far. It's an easy drive, and you've got an amazing, there's that word again, array of talent. Singles matches, tag matches, three-way matches, titles will be on the line, and you have got, like I said, some great talent.
I feel like I don't know, like every show we do, I'm like, wow, that was better than the last, and so I just feel like we're growing and making grounds, and I'm very proud of, for lack of a better term, the product that we're putting out. I'm proud that I'm part of it, and I'm proud that I'm part of putting it together. The wrestlers are I mean, they 110%. They really leave it in the ring, and they love what they do. Like I said, that's really important to me. When I talk to somebody and they say, I'd really like to come work for you, and then I talk with them, I want to know that they love wrestling. I want to know that they're going to want to do this. It's not just a job. It's not just that they're coming to make their payday and go home. I want them to really enjoy being out there and in front of the crowd and performing and wrestling and just the overall everything that goes into it. And I think that really comes across in our shows. At least I hope it does.
My last call question for you: a young lady approaches you at a show and asks your advice on what she needs to do to get into pro wrestling.
What do I tell them?
Yep.
I tell them to find a really good training school and stick with it, and come see me when they've gone through at least a year of training if they've stuck with it. I'll be honest. A lot of times when people ask me, about wrestling, I tell them, think about it really hard because it does hurt a lot. And that sounds kind of silly or pat or whatever, but even if you don't have a quote unquote bad injury in your career, your body is getting damaged every time you step in the ring. And so I always tell them, I said, you've got to make sure that you really love it and you're doing it for the right reason. You're not doing it because you think you're going to make it at WWE because there's 1,000 other people who are vying for that position. You want to just do it because you love wrestling. If you make it to WWE or TNA or whatever your goal might be, that's great. But you actually have to love, the art of wrestling first and foremost if you want to stick around in this business. That's kind of the advice I give them.
Here comes the fun part: shameless plugs. How can everybody keep track of you on the World Wide Web?
Well, really, I do most of my stuff through slamladies.com now. My website, unfortunately, even though I'm a webmaster, it's been kind of lame lately. So, but I'm on Twitter, Slamladies, and that's where we post mostly stuff about the business. Occasionally, we'll put something up there. Like we've been doing some mud runs and things, and we put up some fun pictures of those. And I usually put up pictures of Shine during the show there. So that's where they can get the most news on me. And then and that Shine Wrestling, of course, is our Shine Twitter, and we post up there a lot too. So that's about it. You know, I don't do live shows anymore. I go up to Shimmer and I help them backstage, and of course I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off so we could shine. So that's kind of keeping me busy now. I'm doing more backstage stuff than in front of the, I'm not on stage anymore. But I appreciate like all the plugs you can do for Slam Ladies and Shine Wrestling and Shimmer Wrestling and all that. We really appreciate it, and thanks for having me on.
I said this off air. I'll say it on air. The door's always open, and we're definitely here for you. Thank you first off, thank you for coming on tonight, and second, thank you for being so generous with your time. It's greatly appreciated.
Oh, no problem. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Folks, like I said, definitely check it out. This coming Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, if you're able to, Ybor City, Florida, at the Orpheum. If you're not able to make it, Shine 12 will be on WWNlive.com. Folks, our very special guest at this time, professional wrestling star and a person who wears very many hats. I could get lost in those hats. We'll talk later. Lexi Fife has just gone Beyond Ringside. Hang with us. We'll be back in a few right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
The way I make my living, it's how I spend time with my family and friends. It's hard to imagine true hunger, but sadly 1 in 6 Americans don't know where their next meal will come from. They're your neighbors, your friends, your co-workers. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger to find out how you can make a difference. I'm Rachel Ray, and together, we are Feeding America.
A message from Feeding America and the Ad Council.
With video games, I'm often choosing between what my kids want and what I think is best for them. Hey Mom, how about this one? Rated T for teen with violence and suggestive themes. Let me check the rating summary. Frenetic combat, cries of pain, female warlords expose cleavage. Maybe the other one's better. The rating summaries are free. Use them, and you'll be armed with the world's most powerful weapon, knowledge.
For more information, go to esrb.org.
It takes 12 years to create a graduate. It takes about the same time to create a dropout. And at the end of the day, the difference between a child becoming one or the other could be you. So United Way is asking you to make a pledge. Tutor a child who needs help. Mentor a kid who needs someone on their side. Volunteer to read to children. Because when a child advances, we all advance. Be a reader, tutor or mentor. Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United. Take the pledge now at liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
Hey, what's up? Holla at your boy. XOXOXO. You getting these texts? Question mark. Where are you? What are you doing? OMG, you are making me mad. You better text me back. I'm waiting outside your house.
Relentless, aggressive texting is like sending an angry robot to deliver your message. When does the robot become dangerous? Let us know at that'snotcool.com.
That'snotcool.com.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something, and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text.
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. So many comments on my comment.
Hey, guys, check out my new video game.
Mom, what?
Huh?
What'd you say?
This weekend, unplug. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, this is Joe Perry and Steven Tyler of Aerosmith for Red. You know, it's okay to rock and roll and party down. Just don't get in that 2,000-pound bullet when you're done and cocked. And please don't drink and drive. I'm the one that jaded you.
A reminder that friends don't let friends drive drunk. A public service message brought to you by the Ad Council, U.S. Department of Transportation, National Association of Broadcasters, and RAD.
You and your family are connected by routine, and you stick to it. But what if a disaster strikes without warning? What if your day's routine is disrupted and you can't reach your family? Have you planned for that? Before a disaster turns your family's world upside down, be ready. Get a kit. Make a plan. Be informed. Learn how at www.ready.gov. Brought to you by the Federal Emergency Management Agency and the Ad Council.
This is the sound of a flat-screen television hurled off a building.
Now the new bike your kid wants. These are the things you could have, all cast into oblivion. Because when you throw away money on wasted electricity, you throw away everything you could have bought with it. Use Energy Star light bulbs and appliances, and you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Energy and the Ad Council.
Let me try.
Okay, just remember what I showed you.
Yep. There was a bunny who had one big ear and another big ear. They looped-a-looped, made a bow, and the bunny hopped away. I did it!
Oh, good job, kiddo. Now let's tie your other shoe.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life. Take time to be a dad today. Learn more at 1-877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov.
Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
Dave, what are you doing?
Just sending a gift to Dave 2037.
Who?
Me in the future. I save a little money from every paycheck for Dave 2037 so he can buy anti-gravity.
And sometimes the computer doesn't play nice. Welcome back into Beyond Ringside, Back to Basics Tuesday night. Fast Eddie Layne behind the control panel, ready to take this thing home on this Tuesday kind of thing. Want to remind everybody, tomorrow night, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network, the To Be Determined show returns live. Check out the Oracle of Ominous, the Wicked Nemesis, the Champ, Tasha Simone, the Mad Dog, Matt Denton, right here, BeyondRingside.com, and the entire network. You got us. Beyond Ringside Saturday Showcase returns this Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central. And, of course, back to our regular start time, Sunday Night Live. Sundays, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. Got a couple of things I want to hit on before we head out for the night. Folks, it is a loaded week in pro wrestling. It is a loaded week in mixed martial arts. We're actually doing some very close tie-ins right now with the World Series of Fight, WSOF World Series of Fighting. They have an event coming up in the very near future, and we are definitely going to be working with them on that. I had a great conversation recently with Mr. Bill Behrens, former executive director for the NWA, who is in charge of showbiz bookings. He's got some great talent under his umbrella and also a very accomplished wrestling promoter. For our friends over in the Peach State of Georgia, would like to let everybody know Global Championship Wrestling will be making their way to Jackson, Georgia this Saturday night. Was hoping to have a little bit more show information for you before we went off air this evening. Telephones have been a little bit screwy. You heard during the interview with Lexi Fife that because of the storm over here and also some of the problems they've been having in Florida, that we were having a little bit of communication difficulty, and I know that we were trying to get some more info in. But definitely check it out, gcwpro.com and facebook.com/GCW Pro Wrestling. We'll have all the information up there. Global Championship Wrestling's GCW Radio returns this Sunday, 10 Eastern, 9 Central. Get it right in a minute. As, of course, like I said, they've got Jackson on Saturday this week in the Peach State of Georgia, and, of course, be back in Pell City on Saturday, August 31st. Special thank you to Kevin Brannen with IWA Deep South and LXW making their return this Saturday, August 24th in Sylacauga, Alabama at the National Guard Armory. And once again, Shine Wrestling, Ybor City, Florida, at the Orpheum this Friday, August 23rd. A couple of dates I want to hit on real quick. Santino Championship Wrestling will be Santino Brothers Wrestling Dojo on Schull Street in Bell Gardens, California, 8:30 p.m. local time. Check out SantioBrothers.net or HollywoodWrestling.com. Also, Thursday, August 22nd, Cleveland, Ohio, for Hard Knock Wrestling on Denison Avenue, 9505 Denison Avenue, 7 p.m. bell time. The New York Wrestling Connection back in action this Thursday. Check out nywcwrestling.com. They're going to be in Deer Park, New York this Thursday, August 22nd. Couple of things. Let's see. Let's scroll them down real quick. Superheroes of Wrestling show, Saturday, August 24th in Franklin, Ohio, 3 p.m. Friday, CWE at the Holy Cross Gymnasium Hall in Winnipeg, British Columbia. Thank you for playing on that one. Let's see, PW4U. That's what it says. It's also PW, their website, I love it, their Facebook account, facebook.com/PW4U4Life. It's going to be at the Silverdale Working Men's Club on High Street in Silverdale, Newcastle in the United Kingdom. Love it, love it, love it. I got to make a trip across the pond sometime. PWE will be at the Giant Flea Market, 1700 West Reelfoot Avenue, Union City, Tennessee, this Friday, August 23rd, 8 p.m. bell time. East Coast Professional Wrestling at the Paramus Elks Lodge, 210 Route 17 North in Paramus, New Jersey, 7:30 p.m. bell time. Saturday, loaded up all the way across the board, and I'm going to run a lot of those dates this coming Saturday morning on the Saturday Showcase. And getting ready to take it on in, folks. It's going to be crazy. I want you to keep your eyes open. BeyondRingside.podomatic.com is our podcast home. From that vantage point, also, when you come to BeyondRingside.com, definitely check out the media page. And we'll have we'll have recent episodes and interviews up on the media page, and you can catch all of our recent episodes and interviews available for download and listening through iTunes. It's been a crazy night, running a little bit overtime. Gotta love it when that happens. Kevin, thank you again for coming on tonight. MaBo, always a pleasure to have you on board, my friend. Lexi Fife, great to have you on board. Looking forward to having Lexi and Kevin back with us as the year progresses, because you know they got a lot of things going on, and we're here for you. And I'm fighting the urge to break into a really bad Bill O'Reilly right now. Of course, that's just me. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 9 Central, the To Be Determined show. Saturday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 Central, Beyond Ringside Saturday Showcase, yours truly, along with the Hitman BDC Ryan Adcock and the Cause and Effect Robert Cosper. Sundays, 6:30 Eastern. The whole crew is here. Beyond Ringside Live, 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. And GCW Radio making its return this Sunday, 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Let's take it home at Beyond Ringside on Twitter, Facebook.com/Beyond Ringside Live, MySpace.com/Beyond Ringside. We're also on LinkedIn and Google+. And be sure to keep your eyes on the homepage, BeyondRingside.com. Personally, I'm looking forward to seeing everybody this coming Friday night at Buffalo Wild Wings in Alabaster, USA. Always a great time at Friday Night Lights Karaoke. This coming Saturday, you got it. I'll be back with LXW, the League of Extraordinary Wrestlers. I'll be back behind the microphone, ready to have some fun. It's going to be a good time. It really is. Wrestling fans, Central Alabama, definitely come check it out. You will have a good time. And of course, Sunday, be back at it for Beyond Ringside Live. Until next time, keep your feet on the ground unless you're tied to a ceiling fan. This is the Magic City Motor Mouth Fast Eddie Layne saying good night, everybody.